Well,
even to start.
Who does some
my Monday day
security
was
storage, shoveling and whatnot.
dealing with
He comes in, he sees Pam, he's like, I'm gonna
phishing
grab
incident where
shovels. And
people had compromised credentials.
so,
And my boss, who would normally deal with that, was out.
Are we starting at 5?
and
I thought it was 5:15.
I was too.
he'd taken off his sweatshirt.
Are we at 5 or 5:15?
5:15, he said, I thought 5, but
Yeah, me too.
5:15.
It's 5:15, right?
Yeah, but I think our meeting will open at 5. Public hearing at 5. I don't.
Can if we have anything to talk about.
That's other than what we're supposed to.
I'm not the crazy one
you're not
either, because
crazy.
I thought.
Ted wanted to freak you out.
We're just waiting for you.
We're just waiting for you.
Yeah, we're just sitting here. As Phil gets here, we'll start.
It's 5:10, right?
Right in time.
Because I honestly thought we started at 5 o'clock for some reason.
That's
So.
what Scott said too. I'm sorry.
I actually thought we were 5:15, so I thought I had
we're
5
5:15.
extra.
It is
We're 5:15. It's 5:15.
But I walked in the room, saw all these people here. I'm like,
Oh boy.
Because I click on the.
All public hearings are at 5:15.
And since we didn't really have a business meeting, we
could've
started
done.
it at 5:15. It's fine. It's all good.
Amy's in the room.
Pardon?
You can tell that laugh. I said, Amy's in the room. You can tell where she is in the building.
It's a good laugh.
See, that's why I thought it started at 5. On the website, it has it as 5.
The website does have it listed as 5.
Haha.
But
I had it
when
on one of my
been
calendars
announcing
at
it in the agenda, it's been 5:15.
Yeah.
There's Dan.
And it's all Dan's fault.
Thanks, Dan.
we just got here.
He's listening
The
in.
last 5 minutes of anxiety have been your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's why. Because I had it in 5:15 on my calendar, because that's what we read out, and then I
Dan,
double
because
checked
it
it on the
says
website.
the
Sorry.
Oh, shit.
second budget hearing for the first budget, like it says both second and first in the description.
Once a day.
Oh, wow.
It's okay. We're forgiving this time.
Details.
Not getting my vote.
Get my clock. 5:12.
Oh, this is beautiful.
So after this meeting, I just need everybody to sit tight or come downstairs.
Yeah, but you
'Cause I'm gonna need this signed.
didn't. Chris?
Bring it home.
Yeah, but
And there's gonna be at least one adjustment that she has to make.
Yeah, I got others in here I can see now I need to make. So,
I didn't make anything.
Do I need to check for all your leading zeros?
I feel like
I tried.
or something.
Again,
Elephant carving.
I didn't find select and I found select board.
You didn't find any of the select men's? I'll find them then for you.
Get one more?
Yes.
Pierce, fire engines.
I, because
Is it EI or IE?
I'm like, oddly, that combination.
What did they put on here?
EI is on here, but that's not how I would typically spell Pierce. But I honestly don't know.
Someday I used to smoke. I quit 30 plus years ago.
It's a brand of fire engines.
It's a brand of fire engine, yeah.
Here's fire
I
engine.
told Melinda when I
EI or IE?
85. Smoking again.
Oh, so it's a family business? Yeah.
Gotta get it fixed. You'd like some of that Pierce money. Yeah.
Melinda tell you our next cruise
Your next cruise? When's your?
in May.
This is April. We're going to the ABCs.
Alaska too? Is that an Alaska? Is that
July
next
with
year?
my sister.
My heart rate is almost down.
This July.
What's that?
My heart rate is almost back to normal.
I'm not paying for the Alaska cruise. My sister wanted to go, so I said I'll foot the bill. Wow. Okay. We're on board. We paid for the flights. We paid the flights from Canada to Seattle.
Oh,
Somebody's name is assessed value pending.
In April, we do the ABCs.
okay.
I found 2 out of 3 of them, Ann.
Oh, good.
No.
Whatever.
And
No, there's one more though.
2 out of 3 ain't
said
bad.
25, 10, and 11, and I
We're
couldn't.
going Italy.
Oh, there it is, right there.
And 12.
A couple of the Greek guys.
This is 1 p.m.
This is a big
Things are all over the place.
deal. Right?
Well, no, that's the budget.
This is a.
I thought I oh yeah, I clicked on
I
do 2 public hearings, 5, 6, 5, 7, 5, 6, and so on. Okay.
Sam was
This is not right either. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 5:15. All right, let's open the meeting.
Pledge?
Sure, why not?
okay.
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us this evening. Tonight is the second public budget hearing, so we'll start off the meeting with a discussion of the budget and take public feedback on where we're at with the budget. And then that will be followed by the review and reading of the warrant. So we'll go through everything that's going to be posted in the warrant as the official ballot for us to vote on, or warrant articles for us to vote on at both voting and at town meeting itself in March. So it's sort of a two-part thing tonight. We're going to start with public hearing, and then we'll move into the warrant. Before I take any public comment, anything from the board we would like to discuss or address?
Got nothing.
Do we want to bring up the land now?
Or do you want to do it on the warrant article? Either way.
It's on the
whatever.
I think if we bring it up now, then we cut off any discussion about it.
Sure.
Or open up discussion about it
Sure.
in either direction, yeah.
So, in response to the meeting on Monday, we heard what our residents had to say about the purchase of the land out on Tenny Mountain, and that amount was for $1.6 million. And we heard that people didn't feel that was in the best interest of the town or the taxpayers to purchase that piece of property. So over the last couple of days, we've done a ton of research, and we have looked at another parcel of property, which is at the end of Fairgrounds Road. It's 291 and 295 Main Street, where the old McDonald's was. And we have been able to work with the realtor on that property. So that warrant article will change from $1.6 million to $900,000 to purchase those two parcels of land for the future public safety facility.
Additional context on that, the Public Safety Building Committee that's been working on this, that was actually the first choice property we had many months ago when we started this process. It didn't look like there was really a path to us securing that property. Some things have changed in the past couple of days that put that back into discussion for us. So we were happy to be able to go back, and so we will be adjusting that item from the 1.6 to 900,000.
And I think the other piece of that, if you look at the current police department and the current fire department, and you look at the assessed values, our hopes is that eventually, after the new building is built, the sale of those two properties will cover the cost of the purchase of this piece of property at 291 and 295 North Main Street.
And do we know how that will affect the tax rate, the change in that? We can throw that in the warrant.
Yeah, so the math looks like it's a little bit complicated, but and all of this is estimates, right? Because we're talking about financing that we haven't signed anything yet. It's all prospective financing. But if we finance the $900,000 over a 5-year period at 4.5%, we end up with a total payback cost of just over $1 million. With an annual payment of $205,000. So the tax impact of that's about 23 cents, approximately.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, and that's again assuming 5 years, assuming 4.5%, and who knows. And we've also had conversations of, we could even, depending on the financing, we could have delayed payments and some of those kinds of things too. So we put it in as that. That's what we'll put it forward as. But things, we don't think that there's anything that's going to cause it to go up. But there are things that might help us go down a little potentially.
Including the amount.
including the amount.
The
Including the
overall
amount.
they need to
Yes.
borrow.
Yes, exactly. All right. Was there any other items? I think we're good on everything. Oh, we did, at the end of the meeting last time, we did end up, and I think we talked about it during the meeting, but there's an item related to the town hall energy audit that in the previous conversation was at 100,000. That's been reduced to 75. And the warrant article, as it will appear, and when we get to that in the discussion, includes the acceptance of a grant for $47,000, meaning that the actual, and some change, the actual balance of what we would raise for taxation for the town hall energy audit work would be $27,624. So at approximately $5,000 a year of energy savings, we get a payback on that energy work in just under 5 years. Those are the big updates. With that, I will take any and all public comment. We can pull up numbers. We can screen share if it's helpful for anyone to have additional context or to facilitate conversation. Happy to do that, but I didn't want to go through everything we went through Monday, from the beginning. So any comments? And please approach the mic, announce your name, and then comments, questions. Let's hear it.
Nick Mason from High Street. I think that's a much better location than at the Tenny Mountain Highway Highland. I did mention that at a previous discussion. It is closer to the part of town where the most people live, where the most old buildings are. If the warrant article related to the fairgrounds overlay passes, that obviously is an area that might become much more densely developed for the future and stuff, so your fire department and emergency response would be right there as well. And also easy access to Tenny Mountain Highway. So I think that's a great location if you can make it happen. And then the only thing I was going to say, I watched the previous meeting online. I wanted to just touch base about the nonprofits, Article 34, because I do think you've done a good job of whittling these down over the years. But when I look at that list, I see a lot of, those are modest organizations that really do a lot of good in the community. And I think you should keep them on. People who get up and say, well, I think that, the church or GoFundMe is the way to respond to these. You got to remember that not everybody has the social safety net of belonging to the right church or knowing the right people who put out a Facebook post about a GoFundMe. There are people who fall through the cracks, and we need like a secular way to help people out. So,
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
Any comment?
Do you have a comment?
Sure. Nick, I think you bring up great points on the property, but also in the nonprofits is, we've had further conversations on that, and I don't disagree with keeping them in. We have done a tremendous amount of work, and I thank Mark Halloran and Mike Courier with regards to working with me on the nonprofits and getting them down to a level that is sustainable. But I think, this year, I think we carry them through on the budget, and next year, we take another closer look and evaluate the materials that they submit to us and make some decisions based on that evaluation.
I'm Scott Gray. I live in Plymouth on Beach Hill Road. I have a question. Someone kind of reminded me, what about all the land that the town owns by the old Hitchner plant? How much land is that? Why do you have to go buy land? You've got quite a chunk of land behind Hannaford. You know, there's quite a chunk of land in there. Why can't you put your multiplex building there?
The property's been evaluated. It's a risk to the town to build a building down there because that back parcel will not fit the building that is needed for there. And if we were to do anything with that front parcel, there's wells on that property because there was contamination years ago, and we would assume the liability and risk of those wells.
Yeah, so that property as it exists today, if we were to build a building, you know, not talking about expanding or buying additional property, but if we were to use that piece of property that's there today, there's a good amount of highway equipment as well as you know, piles of material and those sorts of things that do need a storage location. So not only is it a little small for the facility we need to build,
Well,
it
that
also
area
would.
up at McDonald's ain't very big. And why do you need a well? You got town water.
No, the wells, there's monitoring wells on the property, Scott, for contamination purposes.
Correct. That Hitchner building there's contamination in that back corner of that property.
Not a great place to put a new building for municipal employees to sit on.
Thank you, though. That was actually, I think, the first location that we explored
Yeah,
extensively.
it was evaluated.
Well, I'm not sure if,
The gentleman.
nope, okay. Sorry.
William Bond, Old Hebron Road. So I think this kind of gets into a bigger question now. It sounds like we have a building planned and a size planned. Can you share any details about the upcoming safety complex, what's planned, what that might look like? Because I think purchasing property for a certain size building sort of logically follows that we would intend to build such a building. And so if we're talking about buying property to build a building, we'd probably want to have an idea of what we're getting into in building the building before we say, let's go buy the property for it. That was one question that I had. The second question was, in terms of just sort of like procedural matters, last time, obviously, I gave feedback. I thought budget was too high in terms of tax impact. I see we have the warrants here. In terms of practical impact, it's like, or procedural matters, if we disagree with the budget, our options at the town meeting are to not pass, you know, various warrants and so forth. In those cases, if an item is not passed, is it like the school where it defaults to a certain, like last year's budget, or is it that we have to come up with a new warrant? Is the government unfunded? Do we have a shutdown? You get where I'm going with this? Like, I just want to know, like, what does it mean if we as the citizens disagree about the budget and say this is too much? How would that impact us? What would happen? So, those are my two questions.
Yeah, so I'm going to take them in reverse order. What happens depends on which article gets voted down. Okay. So, for example, if we voted down the town hall energy audit work, I'll take that as an example. If we voted that down as a town, we just wouldn't proceed with the work.
Yeah.
Right? So most of the capital projects look that way.
Right.
There are some capital projects that are lease payments on a vehicle we already have in our possession.
Right.
It's a little bit more complicated if those get voted down. In some cases, we have agreements like, I think we've talked about this in the past. When we buy an ambulance, it's a 3-year cycle for us to actually get one. So we have to commit to buying an ambulance, sometimes even before the town has voted to buy an ambulance. So in those cases, we end up doing an agreement with the bank where if the town says, no, we're not going to buy this ambulance, then the bank takes possession of the ambulance and they sell it. So in those cases, again, it's not an ideal outcome, but it's no harm, no foul at that point. We just don't spend the money. In the case of the baseline budget, the like governmental, et cetera, and correct me if I'm wrong, we don't automatically default to a baseline budget.
We do not.
We have to then hold a special town meeting in order to come to an agreed upon budget by the town. Now, our budget runs July to end of June, so
We have
again, not
theoretically-
ideal if our budget all gets voted down, but it's not like okay, it's voted down on Wednesday and nobody can go to work on Thursday. We're funded, the budget continues through the end of June, and so we've got a period of time to get that figured out and get squared away.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Building plans, yeah, so the building committee that we've been working with, chaired by Chief Pierce, and Deputy Chief as well. We've been doing a lot of work. So over the past fall, we visited 5 emergency management community shared public safety buildings around the state in similar size communities as ours, to get a feel for, given our call volume, given the amount of apparatus, the staffing we have, the needs we have in a community, roughly how big a building would we need? For assessing the piece of property, we ended up taking one of the community's buildings. Do you remember which one it was?
Well, Bristol and Wolfboro.
Well, Bristol and Wolfboro. So we basically took their architectural plan for their building and stuck them on the property. Talking about which ones we considered. Hitchner property, right? We said, okay, let's stick it there. Does it fit? Can we make a building roughly this size work in this space? And in that case, we weren't comfortable with it. Similarly, we said, what if we tore down the fire station as it is and put it there? Or what if we tore down the police station and put it there? And we couldn't make any of those 3 lots work with the size roughly of a facility we need. We don't have finalized plans for a building. I think that committee has a really good idea of the sorts of things that we need for a building and what that needs assessment would be. But we're not at the point where it's like we've got architectural plans and we're ready to start shoveling.
Ballpark of the...
Yeah, so it's a big number, as you might expect. And so before I say that big number, what I'll say is our huge library renovation, right, that we did 20 years ago, 18 years ago, we've been paying on that for 18
I was gonna say, that's
years.
the one we're still paying
right?
for, right?
We're just paying. We've got 2 more payments left on that. And so the thinking is, as the payments for that go away, we would have this other large project as a town that we would then have the money and the financing to do. So it would be taking on another debt payment, but it wouldn't be like going from 0 to the full payment. It would be replacing a payment we already have.
We'd finance it.
So timing, we'd finance it. So roughly, we're looking at about $30 million for a public safety building in this rough time period, and that's a very loose number. Anybody who does construction knows the prices of these things have been a little unpredictable over the past few years.
Yeah. Has it been considered what the alternative would look like without a single public safety building? Because right now we have 2, right? We have a fire station and a police station.
Yeah.
Have we looked at the alternative of renovating / expanding each of them, and what the impact on? I mean, I can understand why that might not be ideal. I'm sure there's efficiencies of a single building for maintenance, heating, new structure, all kinds of things like that.
Exactly. All of that. So
do we have notes?
We do. So one of the things we have, and we I think published it on the website at one point, was the full facility analysis that said, here's what the police station would need to be viable in this era. And it's it's not great for the police station. It's like, could we renovate the police station? Yes.
Okay.
Could we renovate the fire station? Absolutely not. That building is in, I would say, full tear down status in terms of trying to use it as a fire station. And actually, I'll pull you off the podium for a moment, and I'll ask the Chief Pierce in specific, and honestly, Chief Buffington, if you want to talk about the police station, and I may have mischaracterized anything, feel free. But Chief Pierce, I think you can speak a little bit, give a little more color commentary on what life in the current fire station looks like.
Good evening. Yeah, so as we know, the fire station, if you look at it from the street, the metal side, the metal building, is the original fire station. About 10 years ago, we acquired the house next door and kind of made the special tunnel that connects the two. And so what we did is we transferred all the personnel into the house side and the old side, which was built in the 1950s as a temporary structure at the time. That's what we now use as our apparatus storage and equipment. Now, I'll give the town absolute credit. You've got your monies out of that building. There's no questions asked. The challenges that exist, though, is that we've actually reduced our apparatus to the point where we're down to just one attack engine and one tanker engine. We used to have 3, and we had to drop it down. We got rid of it about, I don't know, 7 years ago, maybe less than that, because we couldn't even replace it. If we wanted to replace it, we have nowhere to put it. We're truly out of room, and the structural integrity of the building is poor. We have brought in engineers. We got walls separated. Obviously, we know it's a metal roof, metal sides, but they're rotted out. Literally on a daily basis, especially during the summer more than anything, we got rodents running around. We got squirrels and chipmunks in and out of my office. I call them my friends. They just run in and out with the doors closed. Doesn't matter. They come in through the sides of the wall. We got clear identified holes that we walk around every summer. We go on to fill in new ones with some caulking or whatever. But the fact of the matter is that we got $6,000 worth of apparatus sitting on that floor that's unprotected, no suppression system, nothing. During the winter, it rains inside all day. We've had that roof repaired several times. Just in the 4 years I've been here, it's been looked at by 3 different engineers, 3 different metal fab companies, I guess, if that makes sense, like constructs type companies. They've come in and done fixes and all this stuff. We literally have squirrels, or chipmunks, that climb into our bunker boots. We have $600, $700 pairs of leather structural firefighting boots that we have rodents running in and out of in our bunker gear. I mean, you only set up so many have-a-heart traps, and you can't keep up with them. So the truth is, the building's gone. It needs to be replaced. And public safety buildings, the fire and police, are truly they're just as important as your building, your roads and everything. That is your infrastructure, your community. We have to take care of this apparatus. You guys have been very gracious in replacing the apparatus for your fire department. We need to protect it. These trucks are not cheap. They're $1 million. They're only getting more expensive, and we have to protect that. And just as much as we need employees to have a safe space to go in, just as much as you guys have every right to come to the station and utilize its sources, but you should safely be in there. And most people, I don't think, visit us. I invited almost all of you, if not everyone, but I think everyone's afraid to walk in there. So, it is what it is.
I took a tour a couple years ago.
Bring your kids.
I did.
Yeah.
And I get my fire permits there all the time.
Yeah, you go out on the apparatus floor. It really is. So there's so many challenges, and really what it comes down to is I want your stuff protected. I want your employees protected, and we're at that point. I'm the 4th generation of fire chief that requests a building be replaced. Going back to Chief Tebow and all that, we've had plans, we've drafted, we've gone that. Back then, to replace the station was less than $7 million. Last time with that Chief Clogston, it was $10 million. And now with everything post-COVID, it's out of control. So this is where we're at. So if you guys got questions, please reach out to me, contact me. I'll show you what I have. The fact of the matter is they don't make land every day. It's really hard to put anything anywhere. So even to replace the fire station as it sits right now, we would have to acquire some properties around us. Now, when we started this, the committee was dead set on taking no more taxable property than is necessary. We have several apartment buildings around the fire station. I don't want to take those. Those are good tax revenue properties. So that's why the McDonald's lot it's a lot right now. So that sounds like the best way, and then we can replace it and get our monies back for that property transaction. And both buildings, the police station and fire station, collectively are well over $1 million. So we'd be able to recoup those costs just for the land purchase. But we know we can't just sell it and move into it. We got to build a building first, but that takes a couple of years, as you heard the process, the intended goals. But this is simply a basic infrastructure. We've been working on the roads. Every aspect of infrastructure. We're down to this. This has to get done for the safety of this community. And the community has changed in the missions, and that's the challenges that the police chief and I are having, is that we're not able to even take care of some of our simple mission goals because the structure doesn't allow us to do it. So, I mean, I got equipment stashed all over town in Connex boxes and everything else, and we go and grab it as we need it, as a seasons change or whatever, but that's not safe. It deteriorates with weather related. Those Connex boxes aren't heated and all that, so weather gets to them. So, just food for thought.
You might not have to go selling the property in the process.
What's that?
No, in terms of like you're saying you could sell the old fire station. I was just saying the rodent presence might not be.
Doesn't, it's not, no, we
Have a
won't,
home, well.
we won't have him make the pitch. One of the things that Chief touched on is we bought a lot of time by purchasing that house that we then connected, which I think was a very conservative and great choice for the town when we did it. The deficiency we get there is we're working with a domestic kitchen for people who work and live out of that facility, and it's not really up to snuff for what we should do. We have a domestic bathroom that these people are living in. There's no real co-ed separation, and we have a very co-ed fire department there. So there's just some stuff that's pretty awkward about that. Domestic house that we're trying to use in this professional manner as well.
Thanks for reminding me. So when we look at that house, absolutely, it looks like a solid house, and it is in some forms, but the plumbing's outdated. We've had to add in a bathroom. We have no unisex control, all right? So by law, we have to have female and men's, all that type of stuff for bathrooms and accommodations. No one can share a bedroom and all that. So we've been fortunate. We've had to add a bathroom. Now we got the main plumbing stack that's failing in the building. That is a very large sum. The electrical, this is kind of embarrassed to say, but we've had several electrical fires in the building because the electrical system is so old and outdated that we've had to, so I've been keeping a running tally of electrical repairs and electric bills. And just in electrician contractors coming and doing work, since we moved in the building, my last tally was at $60,000, just in constantly doing repairs and running new lines and stuff. And it's not like we're running like 30 toasters at once. It's just simply plugging a laptop in. Next thing you know, the outlet starts smoldering.
It's a good thing it's a firehouse because you guys can put it up quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's just it.
The equipment's inside.
In the event that there's a truck fire or a fire in the fire station side at night where the folks are sleeping next door, they won't know it till the building burns. There's nothing there. There's no interchanging. And to do that, we're talking $150,000 to put in a fire protection system, never mind a sprinkler system. The sprinkler system is going to be well over $300,000. And at what point are you throwing good money over bad? And do you really want to put a brand new sprinkler system into a rotted building that can't even heat itself during the winter? We won't even get into my heating bill. But that's the reality of it, folks. And on long term, if we could build the efficient facility, these electric costs should just disappear, all these challenges, and there's other things we can focus on to fix this community. But unfortunately, we're so behind in infrastructure that we've been playing catch up for the last few years, and this is it's one of those things that we're out of time with the fire station.
I can say that the Energy Commission would have recommended significant upgrades to the fire and police buildings if we were to keep them, but knowing that there's a plan to replace them, if the town decides to keep them, there should be a significant investment in both facilities, but it really does not make sense.
So it sounds like the fire station is what needs the most work. And we have a parcel of land that we already own that's not big enough for a combined structure. Is it big enough for a fire structure?
We talking about the Hitchner adjacent property?
Yeah, I guess that's what you were talking about earlier.
That parcel also has other value. I mean, if you put a fire department there, you need to find another place to, the highway department doesn't have real estate. We're renting the highway garage is on land that's owned by Plymouth Village Water and Sewer, which is not technically the town of Plymouth, and the land behind Hitchner is the storage yard for materials and equipment. There is value there.
No, I understand. I mean, all of this is trade-offs, right?
Sure.
What we're coming down to is ideally we'd love this. Ideally, taxpayers would love to not see their taxes keep going up. We're probably gonna have to meet somewhere in the middle to actually get anything done. So I'm asking all these questions because I think if we go with this is the ideal solution, and then we socialize this is how much it's gonna cost, everybody's gonna be like, what? Where we come back and say, we really want this, these are all the benefits, these are the cons to this side, but here's an alternative. Yeah. Which do you choose? I think we have a lot better chance of actually coming to a situation where we don't have everybody rah, 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 what's going on here. So that's why I'm asking all these questions, is
They're
because
great questions. We appreciate it.
I'm trying to figure out, like, sounds like fire is the key focus, right? So
Yeah, the fire station it's past emergency status. Like we shouldn't be in that facility anymore. Now, I did skim over the police station. The police station's not great. There's water incursion issues happening on the backside of the building. There's significant issues with the Sally port and how that relates to the holding cells. We don't have enough holding cell capacity, especially for events like we sometimes have in our community. The police station, I would say the bigger issue there is that we've outgrown a building that needs significant renovation. So we could invest a lot of money renovating that building and it would still be too small, right? So that's the problem with the police station. It's like we could renovate it, but to what end? The fire station, it's like we're kind of done there. So we could address these in 2 phases as 2 separate buildings, but then we have an operating cost of 2 buildings. If we address both problems at the same time, we create a new facility with less overhead cost. You've got fewer walls, fewer furnaces, fewer electric bills and maintenance contract, like all of that. One energy bill, you start to really compress a lot of those costs. So the long-term operating cost of a single facility is going to be far lower than the operating cost of 2 independent facilities. But, I say all that, if we put this land purchase in front of the town and the town says, no, we're not buying a piece of land, I think the emergency building committee comes back together and says, okay, we're not going to get a piece of land. Now what? Now what do we do? Because that's the nature of this, right? We will have to problem solve within our constraints. Because I can't speak for the rest of the select board, I believe strongly that we should purchase this piece of land. I think that it sets us up for the right long-term vision of what we need in this community for a public service building. And so I think it's the right thing to do. But I'm one citizen and I'm one member of this board. And so we'll see, what the rest of us say, what the community thinks in general here. I'm really glad we were able to get it down from, 1.6 to 900. That felt like a pretty big
Even
win.
with the police, if we, obviously we'd be able to sell that land as well. But I think we've even been sort of approached by a potential, it's not far-fetched that land could be sold as well.
Yeah, the police station would sell very easily. Fire station's a little bit more complicated, but it's prime.
But the fire station has a house which could be separated from the
True.
easily.
It's a
Yeah.
separate.
So, I mean, and the other thing to consider is, if we build a new facility on land that's currently vacant, that's adding non-taxable building, but the 2 buildings were vacant, or the 3 buildings were vacating, the police department, the fire department, and the fire department house could be sold back to the public and become taxable again. So, there is, building a new facility, while the new facility is not taxable, the buildings we vacate do add to the tax base.
And on that point,
Or could add to the tax base.
no one on this board can guarantee anything because we have terms and who knows how long this project's going to last. But certainly the intent with everything we're talking about with the town manager and amongst this board is to sell back those properties to tax-paying citizens. It is not to let them go to nonprofits, and it's not to hold on to them. It is to move those facilities back onto the tax roll.
but you don't actually have control. Like, if you get a better offer from a nonprofit, it's your fiduciary responsibility for the town to take.
It may not be, right? If the fiduciary responsibility is to get the most money for the town, selling it to a nonprofit, even for an elevated price, is not necessarily the best answer for the town.
Based on the taxes that could be paid in the future on that property.
So I guess the final follow-up question I'd have would be sort of how can the town and the budget committee present pros and cons and like downsides and upsides to each thing more effectively? Because I think I think what's unclear to me is, I see a number that is continuing to increase. And I'm sure there's reasons for all the choices of like, we need to do this, right? Like we can get into every single detail and say, this is why we think it's right. And presenting that, I presume you're not presenting anything that you don't think is the right choice. But then like alternatives, right? Like if us as citizens are saying, no, we don't want to spend the money, like, do we have some sort of signal where we're like, this is the least impactful thing for us to vote no on? You get what I'm saying? Like, because like ideally, I can't make necessarily a better decision than the budget committee. Like, because like you can say, oh, tell me which one of these to cut. I don't know which one to cut because I didn't spend 6 months kind of going through the details. But I can say, as a citizen, this is too much, and I want to cut something. And so then I want to go back and say, okay, out of all of these, which would be the least impactful? And can you enumerate the impact of not accomplishing this? And so I guess my final comment is, if you can't, it kind of leaves the citizens up to being like, well, I think this one looks least like it'll have the least impact, so I will vote no on it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to figure out, like,
I do.
How do we meet in the middle? Right?
And so one of the things that may or may not end up addressing that particular concern is you're looking at a draft. So everybody has a copy that's a draft of the warrant. With each of these items, we are able to say the select board recommends this article. We're able to say nothing, or we're able to say the select board does not recommend this article. And so when we go through the warrant, the board is going to make that decision on each of these items. Now, historically, the board has recommended most items. So the draft currently says the select board recommends this item. That is entirely for the convenience of this draft. That recommendation has not occurred from this board yet. So we may get to items on this list that we decide that we don't recommend, or that we decide that we're not going to, not that we're going to say we don't recommend it, but that we're going to be agnostic on this particular item. So that may happen this evening when we go through these. That would be one indicator. Now, that doesn't help you to go one step deeper and say, do we support Pemmy Baker Home Health versus Transport Central? But that level of granularity, we're kind of past that, unfortunately.
No, understood.
Even though that could be floor motioned at town meeting.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Zach, one question on the same subject for the land, because I've been asked. If we, the taxpayers, approve the purchase of this land, and for whatever myriad of reasons we decide not to go forward with the building, once again, for a myriad of reasons, what happens to that land that the town has purchased?
Well, I mean, the town owns a lot of land, so we would have the option to hold it for a future date when the town was ready to build a building. We would also have the option to sell it to a buyer. So we always have that option to hold or sell any parcel of land that is currently owned by the town. And, talking about potential revenue opportunities, we should maybe look through the list of what the town owns and see if there is any land that's currently owned by the town of Plymouth that we should consider putting back on the tax roll to a buyer and seeing if it could get developed. I don't think we've done that exercise in many years. And
I think that would be a great thing for us to do in 2026.
yeah, it would be. I think it could be a really good 2026 exercise.
How are you? My name's Robert Clay. Been a citizen around here for quite some time. My father was the fire deputy chief for quite a while. I remember that fire station getting built. Now, they used to not even have an ambulance in town. It used to be Fred LaFontaine used his hearse. After that, the town bought one ambulance. There was probably 6 trucks in that station at that time. They were a lot smaller trucks than they are today. That brings up another topic. We have engine 4 we're replacing. Is that needed, that big of an engine, when that's the first engine to go out of town, when they call for mutual aid? What my point is, these trucks have all gotten bigger, There's only 3 trucks in that department now and 2 ambulances, am I correct? When there used to be 6 trucks and 1 ambulance. Mutual aid has gotten so much better. In some instances, there might be another town on the scene before Plymouth even gets there, depending on where it's located in town. Ashland has a pretty good department now. So if you get down on River Road, that's quite a hike for Plymouth to get there. What my point is, we could have more trucks if they were smaller trucks. And I understand that that place is in bad shape. It was built, I think, in 69 or 70. So I understand it's in bad shape. But if it's in that bad a shape, how can you sell it? How can you sell that to anybody? Why wouldn't you just tear the building down and the only value there is the land?
Yeah.
If it's in that bad a shape.
I think for that, so if you think about the fire station, I think the house detached from the fire station has value.
Okay,
I think the fire station apparatus bay building should be torn down.
okay.
And somebody should buy that piece of land and develop it.
But that's not for us to determine. Somebody
Somebody might buy it.
crafty might repair it.
You're right, you're right. But
Run
it
it.
is repairable then?
I mean, for
I
a,
suppose anything, if you throw enough money at it, can work, right?
Yeah.
I think it depends on the use as well.
yeah.
New Englanders are some of the most frivolous people, frivolous, no, not frivolous.
Frugal.
Frugal people I know, and can make a lot of old things work, right? So I mean, but it's not for us. Like it's hard for us to do that, but it's not hard for. It's possible that somebody else with a crew or some knowledge of steel buildings could repair it.
So what would be cheaper, buying 1 truck that's as big as they are, or buying 2 trucks, and if another town needs assistance, we can send 2 instead of 1? There's more room in that station if the trucks were smaller.
If I recall, one of those trucks is the ladder truck, right? And it's
Right.
long and
That's
and
always taken up one
We have
day.
to have that because the dorm buildings that are so tall. from
So the way it used to be
and-
set
and-
up,
But the university's mutual aid life safety services agreement covers a significant portion of some of that equipment too.
so the way it used to be set up was there was 2 trucks in the first bay. There was a ladder truck in the second bay, which took up that whole bay. In the third bay, there was 2 trucks, and in the back, there was 2 more trucks. Between the third and fourth bay, and then there was an ambulance in the front of the fourth bay. So what my point is, if we went back to smaller trucks, we wouldn't need so many. And did we buy that big truck for us, or did we buy it to help out these other towns? Because if we bought it to help out these other towns, maybe we need a little help buying it. Now, I've been talking with Ann a little bit, and we're forming a group here in Plymouth concerned about this reckless spending. And I asked her about the gas cards. We don't track the gas cards at all, from my understanding.
That's incorrect.
Yet,
What I said
That's
to you,
incorrect.
Mr. Clay, was that I do not track the gas cards. The individual departments might,
that's right, you said it's done by department.
correct. And you could
Reported
reach
and
out,
audited every month.
you could reach out to those departments if you wanted to know specific
You
mileage.
said we could look at receipts, and I appreciate that. It should be, in my opinion, that every time a vehicle is gassed up, the mileage needs to be written down.
And they may do that. And that's why I said
I hope
reach out
that's
to
the way
those
it's done, I'm not
departments.
sure if it is or not.
Absolutely.
But I hope it's all written down, and we have a lot of vehicles that are leaving town. Now, I understand the chief's gotta take his, the deputy chief's gotta take his, you've gotta take yours, and your deputy has to take his. But there's a lot of other vehicles leaving town.
The only other vehicles leaving town, Bob, are administrative vehicles and detective vehicles when they're on call and have to respond. And I approve that, and I support that, and that's done all over the state in several municipalities.
The road agent, where do you live, sir? Where? Laconia. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's not an emergency vehicle.
It is an emergency
He
response.
cannot take and
back
do
to town.
anything, he cannot do anything until he gets to Plymouth.
I disagree with you, Bob.
What good does it do to run a 550 or that new Dodge or that
Not a new
pickup back
Dodge,
in,
it's not a 550.
we've seen the Dodge coming back up the road. Have you ever taken the Dodge home?
I have to go home.
Okay, so we have. And if you're not on top of this stuff, then I guess I have to question that.
You should, Bob.
Town meeting. How come town meeting can't be held on a Saturday and start at 10 o'clock in the morning and go till whatever time it ends? Right now, you guys have got it in the evening during the work week, and there's a lot of people that don't make it because of the time that you have appropriated for that during the week. If it was on a Saturday, you'd get a lot bigger turnout, which the town needs at this point. There's a lot of people that don't go because of that reason.
My door is always open. They can come and ask questions anytime, Bob.
That doesn't do any good at town meeting.
Not a town meeting, but I'm available 24/7, Bob. Anybody can call me any time of the day. My door is always open. I am more than happy to answer any questions.
One more
anybody
thing,
has.
and I know it doesn't regard to spending, but we also feel that Thomas Newcomb.
We're not going to talk about any personnel tonight, Bob. I'm telling you that right now.
No,
We are
we
not
feel it's a
talking
conflict of
about
interest.
personnel.
We feel it's a
Absolutely off
conflict
the
of
table.
interest to be running for the planning board.
Absolutely off the table.
Being
We're
the-
handling it.
Would be in the building inspector. It's a conflict of interest.
We're
I
not
think
talking
you
about
people should
that.
take a look at that.
We're not, I'm well aware, Bob. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clay. Chief, did you want to speak about the smaller trucks in particular?
Yeah, somebody leave their book.
Mr. Clay, is this your book?
So I can't answer all your questions, Bob, but I'll try to do what I can. As far as the fire department goes, you talked about we used to have 4 trucks. That is absolutely correct. And that is, I don't know, I think most of them were there before I was born because the standards have changed. So as far as Engine 4 goes, yes, right now it's a behemoth. It's that humongous tanker truck that you guys see driving through town. It's 28 years old. Trucks were made different back then. I didn't order it. I couldn't tell you much about it. But the new tanker is shorter. But the other things that we're challenged with is NFPA. If you guys aren't familiar with the National Fire Protection Association, which governs all fire apparatus and how it is constructed. Now, yes, he's referring to the old Macs we had. I don't know, they were tiny trucks. They're awesome. But times have changed. The standards don't allow for trucks to be like that. Our trucks are actually intentionally ordered to be as small as possible. That's to meet federal fire code and everything, and we have to be compliant. The other reason we also own a 2,500 gallon truck is it's a requirement of what's known as ISO, insurance savers. They dictate your insurance rate at your homes, in businesses, and all around the community. That's a requirement that we have 2,500 gallons on the road and available for firefighting efforts. Now, 3/4 of the town is outside of the hydrant district by land mass. So our attack engine is only 1,000 gallons. So that 2,500 gallons supplies our attack engine during firefighting efforts. And then also it goes mutual aid as a tanker truck for firefighting efforts. We give mutual aid, we receive mutual aid. That's the way it goes as part of being part of the mutual aid system. So that's why we have those 2 trucks. If we wanted a 3rd truck, we couldn't really get much smaller than Engine 2 is now. I mean, that's per NFPA requirements. You can shrink it down to like a 2-man cab and all that, but we don't have the personnel, call or full-time, to run 4 fire trucks to a fire. As it is right now, the only certified drivers in the call department, that's the volunteers, if you will, I have 2 of them. That's it. The rest of them are all EMTs or non-certified drivers. And to be a certified driver in the Plymouth Fire Department, you have to have a CDL and go through a safety operators course. And I don't have $5,400 to send all my call personnel through CDL school. All my career members are CDL operators. So those are the complexities, and that's why we're only down to 2 pumper trucks. And hopefully that answers that for you. I mean, we're battling federal legislation laws. You know, we can't argue with NFPA and all the DOT requirements.
Good old days of small fire trucks. was trying to see if there was any other questions from Mr. Clay. I think we addressed most of it real time. Yes, please.
Hi, Jessie DeBoe. Just a couple of questions. Number one, I'm wondering if you guys could tell us, and maybe you've answered this before, but what percentage of the properties in Plymouth are tax exempt? And the other question I had is, you spoke about the loan for the library renovation that's gonna be paid off in a couple of payments. How long was that for? And how much was that for? So are we talking equivalent? You're saying roughly 30 million for this building. What was the cost of the library renovation? How long did we pay for it for? Just rough figures, if you have that.
So I'll answer your first question on the tax exempt. And if we look at tax exempt from 2018 to 2025, I don't have the number, but I have the dollars that are associated. So tax exempt buildings in 2018 were $344,394,285. And in 2025, it's $263,432,917. That's buildings. Tax exempt land, $25,391,079 in 2018. In 2025, $26,046,334, totaling in 2018 for land and buildings, $369,787,382. And today, in 2025, when our last audit report was sent in, was $289,481,276,000. So it's decreased.
A lot of numbers.
It is a lot. You're absolutely correct.
Okay, just a lot of numbers.
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't have the specific number of
Yeah,
buildings.
that's
so.
okay. Thank you.
$2 million.
Yeah. So the library bond was over 20 years, and that was originally a $2 million bond. Now, we also have the CIP bond from 2016, 2017 that we're making the last payment on this year. And we have, which was CIP 16, which was another $2 million bond. And then we have the solar array project that we think we're going to have maybe 3 maybe years left on at the rate we're currently paying off, maybe less. So the solar array is another $700,000. So that still doesn't get us there, right? Not on a 20-year loan. So there's other, and if you look at the overall CIP plan, there's other shifts, right? Hopefully, not hopefully, we know that soon we're going to have, ambulances that are going to give us another, what's the ambulance replacement cycle, Chief?
7 years.
So 7 years on an ambulance. We're going to have 2 new ambulances. We'll have a gap period there. We've got fire trucks that we're getting 20 years out of, right?
One is 28 right now.
And so hopefully that one passes and we get the 28-year-old truck. So the overall CIP plan tries to show how we stabilize that by adjusting the overall capital allocations to be steady. And so that's the intent. The library bond's one component. There are other bonds that expire. There's other capital projects that push out that hopefully all comes together to give us a relatively stable tax rate.
Thank you.
Scott.
Yes, sir.
Scott, I was wondering, can we get the numbers for the total number of lots from 2018 to 2025? Because I know that
That's
the
a
numbers
question
went
I'd asked, right?
just the total number of lots, because I heard the assessment went down, but I also remember talking with the assessor's department within the past 2 years, and they said the reason that your taxes are going up is because all of the commercial property values have depressed due to COVID. So I'm curious just as to if we have
They didn't depress the residential values increased faster, right? So if you assume, hey, the value of a commercial property went up 3% in the given year, but your house value might have gone up 20.
Okay.
So when the commercial property only goes up 3 and residential goes up 20,
It does shift more of the
it
tax
shifts
burden.
more of the tax burden onto residential properties off of commercial. Even though they're not depressed in value, they all went up, they just went up at different rates.
I think part of a question that you had asked in our email exchange that might be helpful is that we don't have a way of calculating the change in the number of taxable lots in towns from 2018 to 2025.
Okay.
But we can say that all, in 2025, all 2,569 parcels in Plymouth had a change in assessed value in 2025. And to follow up on that, the net valuation of taxable properties in 2018 was $495,555,085. The net valuation of all taxable properties in 2025 was $816,145,510. That is a change in the valuation taxable properties between 2018 and 2025 of $320,590,425.
Right. Yeah. So what I'm trying to figure out is I'm trying to reconcile the general consensus that we have many nonprofits purchasing properties, taking them off of the tax rolls, and trying to reconcile that with data, with actual numbers, right? That's why I'm asking these questions, is figure out like, what does it actually look like? Are we really having nonprofits purchasing a bunch of taxable properties that would otherwise help fund this, right? Because I think that goes into trying to motivate these nonprofits in terms of saying like, look, all of the, we're squeezing, right? The feeling is that we're squeezing the individual landowners on property taxes. And so we're trying to figure out how to quantify that with real numbers to show the change over time, to say, this is what is happening. Obviously, many anecdotes for us feeling the change, just want to see how that actually looks. And that's why I'm asking for these numbers, is to be able to like visualize kind of the change over time and what is happening in Plymouth, so that we can have conversations about what's realistic, what's reasonable, stuff like that.
Let's see if we can't take that back to the assessors and get you some additional data,
Awesome, thank you.
okay?
Yeah, and there's obviously been some high profile anecdotal, right? Like you see buildings that have been acquired, and so then it puts it back in everybody's mind. But I think getting to data is much better. I have the value of all the nonprofits, the assessed value, but it doesn't include Plymouth State or the governmental, right? Because those are also non-taxable. So when we talk about nonprofits, usually people aren't actually talking about nonprofits; they're talking about tax exempt, and so that's. Nonprofits, just the nonprofits component, forget about the university and forget about government, is about $62 million. So if the town's worth $800 million, there's $60 million of nonprofit land that is untaxed.
So that would be like including Spear and
The Katie building, Spear, Pemmy Bridge House, the churches.
There are nonprofits in town that are not tax exempt as well. New Hampshire Electric Cooperative is a nonprofit, but they pay taxes. And most of I think we have pilot agreements in place with 3 of the major property holding exempt organizations. One is pending.
Is there an amount, a title?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, please.
Christopher Mayhew, Old Haven Road. Is there a total amount that we have for the amount of money that the town's bringing in via these pilot programs?
I can get that for you off the top of my head, Chris, I don't have it, but I'll give you some that are on the top of my head. Is Spear Memorial Hospital pays $50,000 a year. Mid-State Health will be paying $10,000 a year. There is a housing development out on Fairgrounds Road that pays $17,000 a year.
Life Safety Services Agreement is new.
That's correct.
That's not a
What's the
pilot,
best?
but
That's
it's,
not a pilot. It's not
No,
a pilot,
but it's a source of revenue from the college.
Yeah, what would be the total from Plymouth State, I guess, is kind of.
$275,000 for their current life safety services agreement, which serves as a pilot.
Does that's not including the 300 then going for the additional police officers that,
Correct.
That would be an
Correct.
addition.
so that would be 500,000 roughly?
And
A little north of 6, I
in
think.
addition to that, Plymouth State University pays for details, that police and fire.
Yep.
And last year, that was an additional $107,000.
Are they covering overtime on police for additional officers as well going over to deal? Because I don't know. So I know we're absorbing their police department. We're doing 2.5 police officers.
Yep.
Prior to that, when they had 5 police officers,
Yep.
how many additional officers was the town spending or sending over to deal with Plymouth State on the regular basis?
Very few, unless there was a call for assistance. We weren't covering anything for them. I will tell you, when we're doing covering shifts for them, as we were when they were down officers, we're charging them details, so we're covering the complete cost of the officer being there. Plus, we were using one of their vehicles, so we didn't have any vehicle expense.
One other question. Do we know the total assessed value that Plymouth State owns or has?
Have it.
We have it. I don't have it handy, unfortunately.
I can get it for you.
Unless, no, that's the old town
I was
report.
going to say, it's not one tax map. It's
Right, you have
multiple tax parcels.
Because I slightly I did some math, and I think it came out to roughly around 170 to 180 million dollars is owned, well, assessed value of Plymouth State. So when I kind of look at the numbers and you look at 600,000 versus 180 million dollars in assessed value, I mean that's not even on par with anybody here for a tax rate. So
No, but it could be 0.
yeah, it could be. Yeah, and then
They could say, we're not going to give you anything.
And then at what recourse does us as a town have when Plymouth State inevitably decides to do that?
Do you
Nothing.
say they're not going to pay anything?
Yeah, exactly.
Zero.
We don't have any
say
recourse currently.
we could-
Recourse.
I have always threatened to close High Street.
So, yeah, I mean, but so
that's my
like,
recourse.
so it kind of like all these meetings, I keep seeing, keep bringing up this big issue where Plymouth State, we're now looking at about half the assessed value is non-taxable, right, or is tax exempt compared to the actual tax assessed value of the town. So 50%, right, roughly 400 million is tax exempt in this town.
Yeah,
800.
a big chunk of that's actually owned by this agency as well.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
we
yeah,
always-
but
we
not
sometimes forget that.
not nearly on the assessment rate that Plymouth State.
No, Plymouth State's the biggest for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're kind of at a crossroads, right, where we have to figure out what does Plymouth State give to the citizens and the residents of this town, right? And is it equivalent to the tax break that they're getting?
It's a really complicated question. I mean,
From
when
an economic development perspective, I'm just going to use a number, 3,000 students a year. Maybe that's off.
Yep.
They're supporting and creating our economic development for all businesses in town, right? They're supporting them, they're working there, there's labor force. So there's that piece. And then there's the in-kind piece of giving us the parking lots to use during the summer and the Christmas, not donating, but volunteering their students to work with the recreation department in programming at the recreation department. They do multiple things with the beautification committee. They do multiple things with the parks committee and cleanup and preservation and things of that nature. To put a dollar amount on that, we'd have to go back and look at it. The last time I put a dollar amount on that and added everything up, not including the 275 and the 340, we were at almost $750,000. So if we said $1.2 million in total with what is given to us monetary as well as in kind, that's about where we would be.
One thing I just wanted to quickly note, you were asking about Plymouth and the police department and those things. Chief Buffington today pulled some interesting numbers that I didn't even realize, and I think they're kind of illuminating. In 2017, the Plymouth Police Department's calls for service was 21,837. So let's say 22,000 calls for service, round numbers. 2025, 46,000 calls for service. So in 8 years, if I'm doing my math correctly,
Doubled.
9 years, more than doubled. If we go and look at the other side of that equation, Plymouth State Police Department, 2017, just shy of 10,000, 9,782 calls for service. So say 10,000. 2025, just shy of 3,000.
It's gone down.
So while the need for police service in our community has doubled, the need for police service
At Plymouth
on
State
campus
has gone down by
67%.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's interesting in the whole context too, right? This community is always changing. It's very dynamic, and so the assumptions we might have about how much time or how much effort we're putting into something 8 years ago
Right.
is very different than what it is in 2025.
I think the other important piece, based on the numbers that Zach just gave you, is that in 2017, we had 10 officers.
Yep.
Now we're figuring that doubled. In 2025, we have 13. So we've increased 3 officers over that period of time.
To deal with double
and
the
doubled
amount.
the call volume.
The other thing to consider, the value of the college to this community, it's hard to quantify. I mean, if you think about all of the people who work at the university who live in town, their wages they support businesses in town. Because there's a demand for housing, it helps elevate the value of homes in the town. They support many of the businesses. This town would be, if we didn't, if we looked at other towns of this size without a college, if we took the students away and looked at the economic, this is a very vibrant town. There's a lot of economic activity that would not be here without the college. So, it's really hard to quantify that, but at the same time, I've heard that the university system is considering closing either Keene or Plymouth. They're considering combining them. I certainly hope they don't close Plymouth. It would be a big hit to this town.
Yeah, obviously my mother, she was part of Plymouth State for years, so very intimate knowledge on Plymouth State and everything. And so, no, it's just helpful to clean up some of the, again, I think numbers would definitely help go a long way for everybody sort of quantifying, trying to figure out like how our tax rates going up and how we're going to kind of go forward from here.
Yeah. I do like, when you put those numbers in perspective, Plymouth State's going to fund the expansion of our police department by about 25%. And they're going to add just shy of 6%, 7% additional load. It's not a bad deal for us. I hope that continues. We get in a much more difficult position if they decide to back out of it. But, I think
and there may be
the relationship we have with them right now is much stronger than it's been in decades.
There may be economies of scale where we find that we don't need, even if we're taking on 50% of what Plymouth State facility or police had, we might not need that over time. And, I trust Chief Buffington will make educated decisions and recommendations about that.
All right. Anybody else?
I will, there was a question online about how do we know that the town will decide to move forward, and I think, we are, everybody up here is only up here for a 3-year term, and the voters put us here, If the people who are sitting up here are not serving your interests, if somebody's not representing your interests, the democratic process is open to anybody who wants to put their name on the ballot.
And the budget committee, you don't even have to get elected to that.
Right.
Just show up. We will happily take your time.
Almost
and
any
attention on the
board
budget.
in town will gladly take
Yes.
public input at any meeting.
And we've been thankful. We've gotten some great new people on the budget committee. It's been really, really nice to have Jess Mayhew added to that, and so it's good.
We have another meeting that's starting, so we're gonna move them across the hall.
Okay, gonna try to get them set up.
Yeah.
We're close, I think. Well,
we haven't read the warrant article.
no, I know, we're close on the first half.
Yes.
of
Read the warrant?
meeting. Yes, we're close.
We gotta read the warrant still.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
One last question, hopefully not too long. So we've been talking a lot about regionalization in the last meeting.
Yes.
And how we serve ambulance services to surrounding towns. How does that play into funding a new public safety building? Should we be paying for the building and then only charging for our equipment and our labor? And not like, so how does that factor into, like, do the towns need to that we service need to enter into a long-term agreement to help fund the fact that we need to build a bigger building to house enough ambulance and enough shifts and enough, to handle all of this, right?
I would assume the cost of that building would be built into the contract, but we're not there yet. But we have committed that we're not carrying the costs for surrounding communities going forward. It's not our intention. Scott stepped away for a second, but I know he can speak much more intelligently on this topic than me.
I mean, what I would say, Will, is all those costs are going to be divided out by the percentage of use by those communities and included in their contract.
And do we have any long-term contracts? Let's say we build this big building because we have 6 towns, and then the other towns are like, this has gotten too expensive. We're going to go to, Lincoln or something like that for our...
Start up our own ambulance service.
Right. Like, is it just year to year? I mean, if we're...
Right now, it's year to year because I'll say it's the way it's always been. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what works now. But in the future, that's a great idea. Do we enter into long-term, a 5-year, a 10-year contract with those communities with increases based on what we're seeing from percentage of use? That's a great idea.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, anything else before we close the budget hearing component of this and move on to the warrant? Right, I don't see anybody moving. We'll hear from you all again at town meeting. Note, we do have a hearing on the land purchase on the 23rd. So if between now and the 23rd, you have more thoughts about public safety building, land purchase, any of that, we're taking public input again on that component of this on that date. Does that date also have hearings on anything else or just that one?
It does have another hearing, taxi, I think.
Yeah, whatever, not relevant right now.
No, I
Okay, perfect. So, Anne, do I literally need to read this?
Articles 1 through 5 will be put on the warrant as your election of officers all the way through your zoning amendments. Those have been reviewed by legal, no recommendation by the board. It's as recommended basically by the planning board. So we do nothing
Right.
with that.
Election of officers is just what it is, and then the zoning all comes from the planning board.
Correct.
That takes us to Article 6.
Is your land purchase for public safety complex
Which we are going to amend.
amend to 900,000? And what was the yearly amount, Zach, that I had on
It
my?
is $205,000, 205,012.
I'm just looking for a
205,012.
motion to recommend or not recommend that article.
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 6.
I'll second.
Any further discussion on this article as written?
I presume we will need to update the tax impact at some point.
Yes, that number.
Everything will be updated before you leave tonight. You can't leave until.
Can't leave until it's been updated. All those in favor of supporting or recommending this article?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thought I heard everybody. All right, so 7 through 8 are petitioned. They will appear exactly as written. So Article 7 was a petition warrant article for a tax levy growth cap to see if the town will vote to adopt a tax. I'm actually not going to read the whole thing. This is the one that, if anybody listened to the Monday meeting, is not going to be legally enforceable as written, but it must be put on the warrant. My recommendation is that we say that we don't recommend this article.
You don't have
We
to
don't
make
have
a
to?
recommendation for.
Do we not have to, or can we not?
You can if you want to, but you don't.
So in this one, I would recommend that we say we don't support it.
Yes.
Because it's,
So you're making that motion?
that is my motion, which I rarely do, but I'm doing in this
second that.
case.
And I think it should be clear to anybody listening that we're not supporting this because it's not enforceable under the advisement of our town attorney.
Correct. Okay, that takes us to the next.
All those in favor?
Oh, I'm sorry. I made the motion. Someone seconded. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So we are going to explicitly say we don't recommend Article 7. Now, Article 8 is the one that legal has said is enforceable. We don't have to make a recommendation, or we can recommend one way or the other. Does anyone have a desire to recommend one way or the other?
I'll make a motion that we don't make any recommendation at all.
Okay. A motion to
don't need a
recommend, no
motion for that,
recommendation.
yeah.
That's right.
I'm not seconding it, but I endorse it conceptually.
So the only change on Article 8 where it says 3/5 ballot vote required, not majority required.
Ballot vote.
So that will actually be ballot on floor of town meeting, open for an hour, along with Article 6.
Yep, they'll both be ballot votes.
It might be worth noting in the discussion of this that this can be overridden in the future by a vote of voters at town meeting by a similar 3/5 majority.
Yes.
So if this gets put in place and for some reason, you know, the state downshifts a bunch of costs to us and we feel that it would be appropriate to cover those, we could put forth a budget that exceeds the tax cap and it would have to be approved by the same 3/5 majority.
So is
It's more, you know, it's 60% instead of 50%.
Huge.
Ted, what was your motion again?
To make no recommendation at all. Either in the affirmative or.
So I don't think we need a motion for that.
Okay.
I do have a question though,
Anybody have a
because
different opinion? I mean, that's viable as well.
I'm
I
reading,
make a motion, we don't approve, we don't
you
approve it.
recommend that we don't approve it?
Correct.
Don't recommend it.
Don't recommend it, thank you.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion around that?
I think we should discuss this. My concern, as I raised on Monday, I brought this up on Monday, but I think more importantly now, because it's the hearing, we have seen a pattern of downshifting of costs from the state to municipalities. If we continue to see that pattern, we don't know what the legislature is going to prove in the near future, but if for some reason the legislature ceases to fund something that we're currently receiving funding for, and we want to continue to support that, we're going to have to go back to the voters for a 3/5 majority to override that cap increase. Either that, or the town is going to be forced to cut some other form of service. And I think we're already running pretty lean. I'm not saying that there isn't more efficiency to be found, but I think those decisions are at the hand of the town manager, and he's doing a great job at that. I think to encumber the town with this limitation in the future risk the potential of mandating cuts to services that the town is not going to be happy with.
I would also say there are opportunities along the way, the whole process of budgeting, where particular line items can be looked at, and talked about, and those type of things can happen. This ties our hands, ties the town's hands.
But at the same time, this was a petitioned article.
It is.
It's a petition article.
And, you know,
Yeah.
and because it was petitioned, I think we should let the petition explain why it should be either approved or not approved, and that shouldn't really be our decision.
Okay.
But they'll have that opportunity, at a town meeting, anybody can.
public hearing.
At a public, hearing,
Yeah, on February 23rd, there'll be a public hearing on this petition warrant article.
they have their opportunity at the public hearing, they have their opportunity to present their case at the town meeting for the vote. But this is our chance to, as Phil talked about, and as Mary talked about, that this could hamstrung us in the future for the budgeting process. And I think, we do have an opportunity to put our vote to it, to whether we approve or disapprove this, and that should be afforded.
Even some of the costs that we incur now, healthcare costs, things like that, are out of your control, out of our control, although Scott has done a great job, as well as the town, helping to keep those costs down, but some of those things certainly go up, unfortunately, beyond the 3% at times.
So the motion at hand is to.
Yep. Any more discussion before we take that to a vote of whether or not we do not recommend?
There's only 6 towns in the state of New Hampshire that have such a
Okay.
article. And those are very cash-rich towns. In my opinion,
Cash-rich
it
towns
will-
or property value-rich towns? Okay.
And this
We
will,
are certainly not.
this will be critical on infrastructure projects in the future. This will be critical to staffing and be able to maintain the staffing we have at the current staff levels. And it will be critical to all capital projects as we move forward, if this takes place.
Agreed.
We will go back to probably not having a CIP plan because we won't be able to afford it. And we'll be back in the.
We'll still have one. It's just gonna be much harder to manage.
Yeah.
It will hit our cash reserves, though, I would imagine.
I mean, you end up.
Savings.
You end up delaying, right, you delay work. You delay
Right.
infrastructure work.
Right, so.
Right. I mean, you still have to have the plan
Difficult
of
to spend,
what we're
absolutely.
delaying and what we're doing. So it's.
To be able to afford a plan.
That's it.
It's more
Right,
the better
fair.
answer.
The problem, what happens when you delay is cost goes up. I mean, that's what happens with the fire station. We got estimates of 7 million.
Or you
and 10
reduce
million.
services.
Or, yeah.
Right.
So Scott, if,
That's the sort of thing that forces a conversation of, do we stop having PBTV? Do
For
we
example, if we
close
took
the library?
last
right?
year's
Like
budget,
crazy big
$14 million
things that-
budget, and you capped it at 3%, your increase would be $540,000. Look at what your increase is this year.
Well, that's also part of the problem.
Yes.
Right.
so if we got this article, say it was approved, would it prohibit us from doing anything that is a separate warrant article that might incur cost?
Yes.
Next year, it
Brings it to
So like, if
3%
we were gonna
more.
buy a public safety building, we couldn't do that because it would.
We'd have to fit it in.
It would have
not do other
or
things.
it would have to be approved by a 3/5 majority.
It stops you from recommending more than 3% increase. Doesn't stop the town meeting from voting more.
Correct.
So if there was a safety complex, how would that work? Could we,
Petition.
so somebody would have to petition?
I mean, anything that encumbers future, any bond requires a 3/5 vote anyway. But
But you could,
You need both.
you would basically
have
say
to
as
vote
select
first
board
on-
members, you don't recommend it because it probably would be over that 3%. You can't recommend more than that 3% over prior year.
But we could have no opinion at all?
Yeah, not if it's a
No.
money article.
Right.
No, we would have to explicitly not recommend.
Specifically
Yeah.
asking that, yeah.
So anyway, we have a motion on the table. All those in favor of not recommending?
Aye.
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 That's 4. Zach, did you say aye?
I abstained. Because I was going to cast a tie-breaking vote, but I didn't need to. And so, yeah, so we will not recommend it.
Question.
Yeah.
And this is more for procedure at town meeting, because Article 8 requires a 3/5 ballot vote. Article 7, which is unenforceable but is the same, should in theory the same thing, should that require a 3/5 ballot vote also?
Basically, we would consider the moderator tabling that
Okay.
till future endeavors and just explain that it is not a
It's
legal article,
non-binding because we can't enforce
Okay.
it.
Right.
if that's was available.
Yes. That takes us to Article 9, modification to the disabled veterans tax credit. This is an,
Remember that the veterans tax credit, you cannot get the veterans and the 100% disabled any longer together. You have to get one or the other. This allows for the 100% disabled veteran to receive the full amount that they're receiving now, which is the $2,750. So you're increasing that from $2,000 to $2,750.
so, yeah, so this is just, the law
Housekeeping.
changed and we're catching up.
Correct.
I'll make a motion to support Article 9,
Second.
To recommend it.
to recommend it, yeah.
Any discussion about that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Refuse ordinance update. This is about the dumpsters.
This is about the dumpsters. It's just an update of the 1996 refuse ordinance. There is one change in here that says Board of Selectmen. That word will be changed to Select Board.
That was the third one.
And it increases the levy and fines as the
100 to
violations go
250.
through.
All right, I'll make a motion to recommend Article 10.
A second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Airport hangar lease. This is, we discussed this recently. This is to lease a portion of land at the Plymouth Airport to a private investor for a long-term hangar on the property.
This is a renewal of the
That is correct.
current lease that is there in place.
Isn't it an expansion? I thought there was some sort of expansion or something to it, but no?
No,
No, it's just the exact thing they currently have and just renewing it.
correct.
All right, I'll make a motion to recommend Article 11.
Second.
Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so now we're in the general governmental departmental expenses. This is where the second selectman is in the first line, Anne.
I'm sorry?
This is where the first, or the
Selectmen's
second
office.
selectmen is.
Oh,
It's in
Or select
salaries,
off-
fees, and
select board's
expenses,
office.
selectmen's office.
select me on. Yep.
Select, how about select board?
I'm gonna change
Select
that.
board's office, please. This is,
Here are all the numbers as you go down through
yes,
from the budget summaries that we've been dealing with.
yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion to recommend Article 12.
I'll second it.
Back-to-back seconds. Any discussion on this one? As compared to like the school, we're itemizing where they would just give a number. I like that we itemize. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And now this is the point in the meeting where we pre-tell everybody that the reason the rest of these articles are independent of that first section is because there's something going on. So either we're taking money from a capital reserve fund or putting money into a capital reserve fund, but some money is changing hands or it's a lease agreement. It's not just strictly money in the budget. So each of these has to be itemized for that reason. That's why we move into separate articles at this point. The first one is for the cemetery, and this is raising $62,000 for the maintenance. This is the fence. 20,000 of it comes out of the perpetual care fund, so the taxation component of this is $42,640.
All right, I'll make a motion to recommend Article 13.
Second.
Any discussion? Will's not still here, hiding somewhere, but I was kept up late at night after Monday thinking about, what things could we lose from the budget, which we wouldn't be like wildly affected by. And this is one of the ones that kept going through my head that I felt like I didn't ask enough questions about. Jim, how bad is the fence situation at the cemetery?
This is not the fence.
This one's not the fence?
No. This is just the maintenance of the
This
cemetery.
is general maintenance of the cemetery,
Yes.
but some of it's being funded by, so the fence is later.
Fence is later.
Article 22 is the fence.
I will hold my question about the fence until later. All right. Thank you. Any other discussion other than my ramblings? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Police parking. This is the overall parking budget because we fund it from the, we take in the fines, we put it in the savings account, and then we take that money in the savings account and pay it the next year. So there's no effect on taxation from this because police parking is paid entirely out of that savings account. But it's $81,000 that we're paying, $81,000 that we're taking out of the fund to pay it, zero in taxes, this police parking.
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 14.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
I would.
Aye.
That's aye.
You're gonna say nay.
I was just going to say, in the interest of economic development, parking enforcement keeps our businesses active. If we didn't have good parking enforcement, and we would lose a lot of the business on Main Street because people would be parked there indefinitely.
It's true. And there was a time that we lost money on parking. That's not that many years ago that we, spent $60,000 and took in $20,000. But changing the prices on parking and changing over the meters put us in positive. So this was, we talk about how do we get more creative about revenues. This is an example of where the police department got more creative about revenues, and it no longer costs the taxpayers any money. Police school resource officers, Article 15. This is $152,000 total. $114,000 of it's paid from the SAU school system. If you think about that a little bit, some of that is the elementary school, but some of it's also the high school. So not all of that 114 also comes from Plymouth, just under a different line item. It's a portion of it. And then the balance, $38,095 is being raised in taxation under this article.
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 15.
Second.
I almost jumped the gun. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, now we're into the new Plymouth Professional Firefighters Union Agreement, which is a 1 year.
2 year.
It's a 2-year extension on their current agreement, which brings us into line with the police one, so that the firefighters and the police are on separate unions now, but we want the years aligned for simplicity going forward. So that's why this one's a 2-year and not a 3-year agreement. It's $256,739 increase in year 1, and then an $82,305 increase in year 2 for this contract.
And I'll make a motion to recommend Article 16.
Any discussion?
I'll second it.
Now any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Because of the nature of union agreements, if it gets not approved, then we've got to go back to the unions and renegotiate, and then have another town meeting to approve a new union contract. So Article 17 is the authorization of a special town meeting if Article 16 is defeated. That's it.
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 17.
Second.
Any discussion?
I hope we don't need it.
No.
I agree.
Time consuming, and I think we did good there. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Article 18 is the Highway Department budget. This includes a small withdrawal from the Municipal Transportation Enhancement Capital Reserve account of $30,000 against the 1.373814 million, bringing it down to $1,333,814.
Also taking funds from the sidewalk capital reserve.
Ooh, I missed
to
the 10. There's
funds
also, yes, there's also 10,000 from the sidewalk. So total of 40, 30 from municipal transportation, 10 from sidewalk. But overall, it's still, it still is what it is. That's it.
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 18.
A second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This brings us to Article 19, the SAFER grant. This is, we have received a grant from SAFER, which I'm not remembering exactly what that acronym stands for.
Staffing for adequate firefighters.
Staffing for adequate fire
And the emergency response?
Fire and emergency response, SAFER. It's like, I know there's an E in there somewhere. So this is a 3-year grant that covers a large portion in the first year, a smaller portion in the second year, and an even smaller portion in the third year, and then by the fourth year, we're all in. Is that right, or is it just the first 2 years?
No, it's your right.
Thank you. The first year, it's a large amount. The second year, it's a smaller amount. And then by the third year, we're paying the full thing. So this outlines the increasing impact over the 3 years, which I did want clarification from that. Is that right? And that
Doesn't seem right.
Doesn't seem right.
doesn't
You're looking at.
the cost impact?
This is the actual cost over the 3 years is the 511 times 3.
Right.
Okay, so you have the first year, the town is paying
182.
192. You gotta read the article, it's at the end of the first
Okay.
paragraph.
I'm just seeing what, we've got
192.
192, but then we say 182 right below it.
Right, because the 182 is for the next year, 27, 28, 28, 29.
So there are 3 years of,
There are 3 years here. Yep.
okay, so I corrected and then falsely corrected.
So the third year,
Is this for
the town will be paying 366, 834.
82, 366, and then, 192, 182, and then 366?
Correct. And the fourth year, the total expense will be on the town. For right now, if we use this number, it's 51170, 511,700, sorry. But we know with wages and benefits, things go up. This is just a projected amount at this time. I didn't go any further than 3 years that the grant is for. You're only approving the 26-27 year. And then from there, it just will continue into the budgets.
Yep.
You won't be able to see this again, whatever you vote now.
Correct. It
either
will go
accepts
into the
grant-
baseline. If this is approved, it goes into the baseline budget going forward.
Correct.
And so next year, we would see something that would approve the second year of it?
No.
No, it goes into the baseline
We would-
budget.
You'd work in the budget.
Yep, because once we accept the grant, we hire the 4 positions, and then we
We've gotta-
have
yeah.
them.
Right.
And am I correct in my understanding that the grant requires that we maintain this level of staffing for some period of time after the grant award?
That's correct. right?
It's for the entirety of the grant. The 3 years we're required to maintain that staffing for the 3 years.
For the
Year
3 years.
4, it's up to the community.
Okay.
Oh, I
So the
didn't know that.
fourth year at 511 is the option. Okay.
Am I allowed to speak, or is this?
Yes, please.
All right. So there's a couple things I wanted to clarify. This grant is very competitive. We are the only agency in the state of New Hampshire to receive it this year. We've been applying this for 6 years because we understand the critical staffing that is needed, but the community can't necessarily afford it. This grant is a tremendous opportunity. Basically, for the first 2 years, we're getting 4 firefighters for the price of 1. And when I say firefighters, understand they're also EMS. They're also EMTs, paramedics, whatever level. All right. And then year 3, we're getting 2.5 firefighters, 2 3/4. We're paying for the price of, and we're getting 4 out of it. So we're getting half and half, I guess, for the year 3. Then year 4, it is on us. I am looking at options right now, and I have a plan in place where we would be year 4. Too many numbers right now. Year 4, we have the ability to recoup at least 50%. Now, understand, I know there's not a lot of understand about how the fire department budget is because it's so complex, but 77% of our fire department budget is EMS related, okay? So, and that fluctuates year to year depending on call volume, but generally it's right around 77 to 80%. So if you take that number out, it's 52, a little over 52% is just for the town of Plymouth. That's what it costs to operate an ambulance in the town of Plymouth. The rest of that is recouped by all the contract agencies. And what we do is we have it broken all down to a price per call. And every time we respond to a call, we charge that community the full entirety of what it costs the town of Plymouth to run an ambulance to their community. Plymouth loses 0 money and we recoup all that money back. Billing is atrocious. You don't make money on billing, so we just return that monies back to those communities because they've already made us whole. Now, in this case, we're adding a 4th position. So we're challenged with many, many things in the town of Plymouth. Yes, Plymouth has maintained stagnant, but really it has grown because the college has shrunk, and that's what balances out that number. If you really want to do a deep dive into our statistics, you'll learn that real quick. But also, we have a healthcare system. We have all the ambulance services around us are frail, if not failing. And prime example, Warren Wentworth ambulance service closed down. We then went and had to hurry up and get a contract in place to service those. Otherwise, we'd be having to do that for free. And I'm not about to put that on our taxpayers. So I went and got an ambulance contract in place as a temporary measure. We are looking to rectify that, where we got a plan in place to rectify it in the future. It's just a lot of politics to get there, but we're going to get there very soon. I'm working on it wholeheartedly. As for the town of Plymouth, we're frail. The hospital is in many, many challenges. They're in a position where they can't move our residents when they go there because they have critical needs, i.e. a heart attack, a stroke, or anything that requires big emergency surgery, and they have to go to different institutions. The hospital is now waiting days on end for a transfer. It's called a transfer from facility to facility. They're waiting days on end to get you out to where you can get your heart attack taken care of. They're calling us regularly. And the problem is I keep having to say no to them because I don't have the people to staff our ambulances to meet the demand we're already faced. This allowing us to have this 4th firefighter will help us with that demand and also help with the failing health system in the region because it all comes down back on us. Like it or not, we're stuck with it. So this position allows us, and we can recoup that money to help pay for these positions moving forward in the future. So the goal is to get at least majority of these positions self-sustaining through just simply doing our EMS proficiently. That's where we can't do it right now. We can't meet the demand proficiently. And our aging population is increasing. That is the highest demand on this service. Slips, trips, and falls. As we know, as we get older, our health needs decline. They get more and more required for medical attention. And we are seeing a large increase just in Plymouth alone with our aging population. And the EMS system is frail. We're taking the place of PCPs in some areas because people don't have access to their PCP's office. They're waiting too long and all that. And we're seeing that need coming to us more. I get more calls for non-emergent requests to just simply help them with medications or whatever. And that's the reality of our community. And it's all put on our ambulance service. And that's why instead of going to the town and asking for one more every year to just meet a simple demand, I was able to obtain this grant through a ton of work of Captain Ben Tebow, retired Chief Morrison, all them. We finally got to get this grant. So Lisa get us in a position, and then I can start working on recouping those costs so it's self-sustaining into the future and not on our taxpayers. As we know, all the money we make this year in our billing, which we are the 2nd highest revenue source in the town, next to the clerk's office. We almost bring in $1 million in EMS revenue between contracts, billing, and all that stuff. The goal is to get this on the back end. So all this year collecting that $1 million goes towards the taxes next year. It offsets it. So it's just a revolving door. But it just, unfortunately, until there's a better government funding source or a way to calculate it into our taxation, this is the way it is. So we do recoup these monies, and it does go to our taxpayers. You just don't see it up front. You see it on the back end. Does that help? And certainly, these positions are critical. I mean, our staff are burning out, and we need to get the rotation up with more hands on deck. So, and certainly you guys are welcome to come to me, ask. I'm hoping to do an informational session soon. I'm hoping folks have a great turnout like this is. And I have more information here I can hand out to you. So if you want to catch me on the end or show up at the station, I'd love to talk to you. I want to educate my community. So
Before you leave.
Yes.
Just a point of clarification, when you say that fourth firefighter, you mean per shift, correct?
per shift, yeah. So right now we operate 3 shifts of 3 personnel. The deputy and I are both dual certified EMS. We stay current. We do operate the ambulance. The other challenge we have in this community is our call company are also volunteers, as you might refer to them as. They're shrinking. When I started in Plymouth 20 years ago, we had 30 call members. I'm down to 10 right now. And they keep coming in. We keep taking them in. We start training them, and they realize, I can't keep up with this demand. I can't keep up with the training. I have multiple jobs. I got kids. I got this. I don't have time to commit to the community. So they leave. They quit. And now I just invested $5,000 in them, and I've lost them. So the reality is community isn't able to step up anymore, and it's a shift in balance in time. So that's why we're going up to 4 per shift. Anything else I can over talk on?
I'm good, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. I would love to support this particular proposal. I think I agree with everything the Chief just said. In the context of everything else this year and this budget, I find myself feeling like we just over the past 3 years said, add a firefighter every year. We're going to go from 2 on a shift to 3 on a shift, and now we're going to be good. And we get here, we get the grant, and now it's like, oh, if we just go to 4 on a shift, we'll be good. And I get the numbers are there, and I get that the need is there. I even think that maybe the billing is there, but I'm left feeling like it doesn't feel like the right moment to put this in front of the town. I mean, we're putting it in front of the town, it's on the warrant, but I, in good conscience, don't feel comfortable recommending this article, despite my extraordinary love for the fire department.
I share a similar sentiment. I was part of the team that negotiated the union contract with it, and I feel that the work they do is valuable. I'm kind of in the same boat.
I mean, if I was going to rank the thing, like there are big additional expenses for the fire department this year, right? And if I was to rank them, the most important thing is that union contract to me, that we get those wages increased for those firefighters, and that they get paid what they deserve for their community, and to keep those firefighters here. And then I think about the emergency management, public safety building, and then I think about the equipment that we need to make sure we replace so it doesn't all age out. And then this comes in, fourth, and I might even forget. Oh, there's a fire truck in here too, and so it's it's maybe 5th on the list. And so I'm like, man, for me this one is like the money's there, and it's such a great 1 for the cost of 3 for the cost of 1, and then 1 for the cost of 2, or it's a really good number over 3 years, but. Anyway, I'm left uncomfortable with this one.
Had we not added firefighters 1 a year for the past couple of years, I would feel much more confident backing this. I think I don't have the confidence that.
But our calls are going up. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Sure.
And we're going to have to add firefighters eventually. This provides us with a way to offset some of that cost. And so once again, this is planning for the future, in order to take advantage of a grant that, once again, has been very competitive, that we're able to get it. So we can either, once again, put this off. But we all know when we put things off,
It's more expensive
it's going to
later.
be more expensive later. And if we have this grant here to offset that cost, it's going to be even less than putting it off and then trying to move it forward later. I understand,
Yeah.
but like, once again, our calls are going up. The need for it is going to continue going up. And so, a recommendation, I feel a recommendation is valid just because we get the money in order to offset the cost of it. Because otherwise, in 2 years, we're going to need a fourth firefighter, and we're not going to get the offset cost from the grant.
Can I ask a question? Go ahead.
So my struggle, I shared the same. Initially, the timing wasn't right. My initial thoughts were for the safety grant. However, my understanding as well was after the grant finished, 2-3 years, I can't remember anymore, we would still have to maintain those 4.
But we don't.
Is what I
We
understand.
don't.
But is that not the case? If we find we don't need the 4,
If we find we don't need the 4, technically, we've done the commitment for the government, so.
okay.
Because that commitment's only a 3-year commitment.
Are there terms where we would have to repay grant funds if we don't?
If we don't fund them year 3, year 2, for example, we would have to return the grant funds.
But once we get past the years of the grant, in year 4, if we choose not to fund it, we're not penalized for
Or
it.
if we choose to reduce the funding,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Then we lay off employees, is the reality of it.
Yeah.
And in addition to the, assuming we go forward as well with the newer building, means we can service more, bring in more revenue, but we would also need to hire additional staff.
I do have a
It's
question
not
for Kevin.
clear.
So currently, we're estimating that our service call contracts are covering about 50% of our total expenditures. Is that ballpark?
Ballpark, yeah, it's a little less than that, but
Okay.
ballpark.
Is there any indication that there's that our staffing limits us from responding to more calls where having more staff, like, can we presume that we're going to get the same level of reimbursement on additional staff if we bring them on, or are we basically responding to all the calls now and we're not going to see an additional revenue from additional out of contract calls?
We are not responding to all the calls. For example, nights and weekends, I can't get a second ambulance out. I can't get personnel to come back. So we have to call mutual aid to handle calls not only in the town of Plymouth, but our other contract calls when our first 2 ambulance is gone. It takes 2 people to run an ambulance or an engine. So right now, we're limited to only being able to operate 1 emergency at a time.
Do we know how many we turn away, don't answer?
Last year, we had 464 simultaneous calls, so that's multiple calls at once. Last year, we failed to answer, just in the town of Plymouth, 48 emergencies. And then with our mutual aid, we also had to bring in an additional, I think, 27. So whatever that is, roughly 75.
So 75 calls, well, on the fire you don't bill, but so on the 48 ambulance ones, that's $77,000 of revenue.
And on top of that, the emergency transfers, I kid you not, we get calls almost daily to take someone who is having a heart attack or something that's imminent that needs to go to a specialized center, which is a huge revenue source for us.
So can I clarify one other thing?
Yes,
So
please.
currently, we have 3 people on shift
Currently, yes.
with 2 ambulances.
Yep.
Which means we can roll 1 ambulance with 3 people.
No, because of the day shift chief and deputy chief.
During the day,
Not an ambulance.
the deputy and I are available to staff that second ambulance.
But having,
if we're not tied
having a
up.
Why we
fourth,
can't
having
run
a
'em on
fourth
the-
when you're not there would allow us to roll 2 ambulances at night, which could potentially
24/7.
double revenue.
It would
on
increase
those calls that
revenue.
we can't
and it
respond
would give us
to.
the availability to do.
It's going to increase it.
It's definitely gonna
It's not. It could go up to double. I mean, it's not going.
We can
it's-
recoup
yeah,
some of the costs.
Right.
We can
So
recoup
the-
some.
Also, just side note, a
And-
little
and-
bit horrifying that we didn't have the staffing to deal with 48 ambulance calls.
Exactly. That's
I remember sitting
Makes me
in
uncomfortable.
the Plymouth ice rink watching a kid on the ice waiting for an ambulance to come up, and we had to wait for one to come from Holderness. I mean, it was in Holderness, but normally the Plymouth ambulance would have responded, but they were on a motor vehicle accident somewhere, and like sitting there for half an hour watching a kid like waiting for an ambulance was difficult.
Quick follow-up. You mentioned the revenue that you could get from the hospital if we had the staffing available. Would we be able to take advantage of that regularly if we don't have an additional ambulance?
No, we can't do it with just one ambulance. That's right now. I don't send them out. I turn them down regularly because I can't commit to sending our only resource out of town and not protect our residents. So I turn them down. But with a full second crew there, that's a risk. That's on a risk versus benefit. It's on the benefit side, and really it serves my residents because there are residents at the hospital.
So what kind of revenue do you get per call if you do a transport? I assume it's different because you're committing to a longer term.
It varies call to call, but for example, for your average STEMI or heart attack, where they're on drugs, they require ALS or a paramedic. You know, just to go to Concord Hospital, we're in the ballpark of around $3,000 per run. Versus right now, I go pick somebody up that's in town for having a heart attack and bringing them to this hospital. We're only obtaining somewhere in the ballpark of $700.
I'm starting to change my thinking on this.
I mean, just the fact that we're not adequately staffing at night,
Yeah.
is a concern.
And honestly, if we're gonna have 3, why not have 2? But if we've got 3, why not add a 4th?
It allows us to use multiple resources at once to better serve the needs of our community, and that's where we're at. I mean, the best example on the fire, let's be dramatic, the fire side, the Main Street fire. The only reason we were able to stop it from getting into the Flying Monkey was because we had people hanging out. We were able to get 4 on the engine to that fire instantaneously, and we were able to deploy 2 hand lines, one into protecting the monkey and one into putting suppression efforts on that house. And that's why the Flying Monkey didn't catch
These
a
are
fire.
people who are not on shift, who would not have been there to respond to
They stopped in to, it's funny, but they stopped in to deliver food.
I mean, I understand timing's not great, but timing is at least good because we have the grant.
Right.
That's what it comes down to. Like, timing's not great
Right.
because I understand we're asking for a lot with fire, but the timing is at least good because it's going to get offset I mean, we can't manage when we get accepted for the grant, and we got accepted this year, and if we turn it down,
We don't get
or-
it again.
Never.
we're not going to get an opportunity again for a number of years, correct?
It took us 6 years to obtain this one. If we turn it down, we're probably looking at a minimum of 3 years before we can ever apply again. If we accept it, then after it's up, we have to wait 3 years to reapply. So it's a 3-year rule, and it does look bad. I mean, we get pulled some serious politics at the higher ups to get there.
I'm going to guess if it gets turned down, they're going to, when we apply again in 4 years, they're going to say, what are the chances you're going to get approved, again, so.
Not so much. And I hate part of it for me was learning tonight that if we don't need the 4 at the end or can't afford the 4 additional,
Then
there
we
are
can make a
decisions
choice.
there that we can bring those numbers back.
That's the reality of it. It's accurate,
So there is that. I thought we had to continue for a certain amount of years afterwards.
Kevin, these would all become union employees, is that correct, over those 4 years?
Part of their
Realistically, they can. I can't legally, no, I can't make them be union employees. So there's laws against that. But, the reality is they're more than likely going to be.
Which this 511,700 that we estimated it would cost is really gonna cost more. These are only estimates,
Yep.
correct?
I mean, yeah, it's our budget. It's every year, it's an estimate.
Right.
Yeah, increases the multiplier on the fire cost.
And considering laying off, if you say you don't want to fund these 4 positions later,
Right.
you may have a hard time filling those positions to begin with, knowing that in a few years, I may not have
Sure,
a position, and now they're union positions.
sure.
I can tell you with confidence, with the plan that I've been preparing and doing my research, that we could get close to covering some of this funding for that, sustainably for the future for these 4 positions.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve, to support Article 19.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
It was
Yeah.
not my thought to support this initially, but
Mine.
I've been convinced.
I had one point of discussion. I would like everyone to encourage anyone who's gonna go to town meeting to watch this discussion so they can at least be informed.
Yeah.
Oh, nobody's gonna do that, but I appreciate
Hey, no,
I appreciate the
we've
encouragement.
had several people say I watched the video, I watched the town meeting online, and I've seen people on Facebook say, "Oh, I watched the town meeting." Like, there's people out there.
There's people out there.
Spread the
There a
word.
vote? I'm sorry, did I miss?
There was not. We're still
There was
in
not a
discussion.
vote.
Right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? I'm going to maintain my opposition. With all the love in the world, Chief. But it passes. We recommend this article. So now I wholeheartedly recommend it because that's my job. Okay. Capital projects. To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $287,500. So this is broken out. We've seen it. We've seen the itemization. It's the furnace at the fire station, which feels
Boiler.
a little annoying given
It's a
that we
boiler.
want to get
There's
rid
a
of the
difference.
boiler. It's a boiler. To be clear, it's a boiler furnace. That's what I have. Probably the same one. I also don't want to have to buy one. Highway building, insulation repairs, so some work on that building. The library has some work being done, both exterior painting and, you've got
Exterior painting both.
exterior painting twice, but there are 2 different library items. They're just,
Mislabeled.
one of them is mislabeled.
What was it?
Restoration.
Is that what it is?
That's the 15,000.
Is not painting, it's administration?
Building.
Restoration.
Restoration.
15,000 is building restoration.
Thank you.
Or building, exterior building renovations is what it said in the CIP.
Replacing the
Yeah.
failed trim.
And that's which one is that one? That's the 15
15.
renovation.
So we're back up to landfill monitoring?
Yep, so landfill monitoring, police department closed circuit TV system, town hall closed circuit TV system, the exterior painting, and the town hall HVAC. All that adds up to $287,500.
And
For
I'll
various
make a motion I'll make a motion to recommend Article 20.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Road construction, we've got Emerson and Parker Street. This is the completion of Emerson and the first half of the money for Parker. It's not the actual full money for Parker. We will see Parker again in the following year.
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 21.
Second.
Any discussion? I still think we should make Parker not a through street and close half of it, but you know, if I'm going to be that guy, I might as well be that guy tonight.
I think the road agent disagrees with you.
Just put a barrel there. He can move it out of the way. And then we don't have the dangerous intersection. It solves all the problems. Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Article 22 is now it's the Riverside Cemetery fence. The moment you've been waiting for, Jim. We're going to raise and appropriate $36,000 for that, with a withdrawal of $8,300 from the estate trust for a balance of that's not right.
Not the correct number.
Not the correct number. This is why we do this. Becomes 20,777.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, you're going to answer my cemetery fence question, even
Well,
better.
Jim is going to talk about the condition of the fence, and I will talk to you about how the cemetery trustees got to the financing, because you have to look at both articles, so that we tried to limit the amount of money for taxation on the fence. But Jim, why don't you talk about the condition and our issues with the state?
So some of that other cemetery money is tangentially related to the fence?
Completely related to the fence. But was put in that article, it's a perpetual care withdrawal, and it was put into that article as operation, but that's one-time money.
Because perpetual care will only fund operations? Okay,
And not, yeah.
okay. Creative.
Yeah, last year we had an issue with.
Microphone, please. We get yelled at online if you don't.
And sorry at hour 2:20 for me to be asking about fences, but
Last year the state had plowed it over twice, and it took them till the middle of the summer to fix it. And there was a lot of complaints on how the cemetery looked, the fence being tipped over. So my plan is to move the fence back a couple feet so it's out of the state right away, and it's going to be a split rail fence so the snow will go underneath it rather than pile on it.
is the fence entirely there for cosmetics?
To keep people from driving
So people don't drive into the
anywhere they
cemetery?
want,
Could we plant trees?
so they die with the salt.
I mean, the salt is,
You know, it'd probably cost more to plant trees.
it probably would cost more. But that is the risk, though, is you're saying that
Yeah, to
we
keep
think
people
people will
out.
drive out into the cemetery if we don't have a fence.
If you don't have a fence or some sort of barrier there.
What is people's temptation to drive into a cemetery?
Why?
Some big boulders from the highway department, stick them along.
You can't question the motivation of people with something like that.
We were all dumb teenagers
You don't
once.
see people randomly drive into other fields or whatever, so I just,
That you know of? Are you every field
No,
and every
you
time?
do. You do.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't that long ago that all the parents were out raking out tire marks off the athletic fields down on down by the bridge because somebody had driven out there.
They
All right.
drive down back
Take it back.
in our field and rut that up in the spring,
Right.
all right.
so.
People like to do dumb stuff. All right, I'm
You're
I'm
just
good.
figuring this out?
I know. It's late enough that now I'm like seeing the best in humanity.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's my failure condition.
So we took the 20,000, which is one time, out of perpetual care to apply as operations, but it's one-time money. So that's an artificially low number for operations this year. And then we took 8,300 from another account, working with the trustees of trust funds, from another account earmarked just for Riverside Cemetery, anything that we wanted, that the cemetery trustees wanted to do. So that's been applied in this warrant article. So there's 28.3 of one-time money going towards the $36,000 fence. We also then did not fund the tree trimming line item in the cemetery budget, which has been historically $10,000. We put, I think, a 1 in there just in case some tree comes down and we got to figure out what to do. So basically, what the cemetery trustees tried to do with the trustee of trust funds is pay for the fence with as much one-time money as we can to take care of this. And I'd like to have a nickel for, I've been a cemetery trustee for 6 years. How many people have said to me, when are you doing something about that fence? For whatever reason, aesthetics, safety, whatever. So this is just one side. We're fenced in on 3 sides at Riverside. We're not touching the others, and they do what they need to do, which is basically litter collection and things like that. So that's the reason for this warrant article. So I thank you for listening.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, I'll make a motion to recommend Article 22.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Fire engine purchase. This is payments 4 and 5 to close out the payments on the fire engine. We do need to fix the spelling of Pierce Fire Engine.
Okay, with the amendment of the fixing of the spelling of Pierce Fire Engine, I will make a motion to recommend Article 23.
A second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. And we're pulling all of that from capital reserve, so there's no direct taxation implication, just in case anybody was still with us on this. All right, on to Article 24, the ambulance lease. If I am recalling correctly, this is the one we approved last year, and we're still waiting to take delivery on. I was looking for a nod.
That's right.
That's correct, yeah. This is replacing a 2015 ambulance, and roughly we're seeing about a 3-year lead time on orders. So this one has been on order for a year, 2 years now. Hopefully we'll actually get it.
This is the one we ordered before we went to town meeting because we knew it was going to be a 3-year lease
Yep.
or a 3-year
That's
wait
the
time.
next-
3-year wait.
3-year wait. And the
correct.
next one is actually the one we just ordered in the past year.
The next one is the one that we need to order. That's
We haven't ordered the next one.
correct.
Okay. So we have actually talked about this first ambulance at town meeting and it has been approved in the past, but we're still waiting on it and we haven't made the first payment. And then the second one is, it takes forever to get a damn ambulance, and so we've got 2 here. Anyway.
All right, I'll make a motion to recommend Article 24.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And then the second ambulance is, it's replacing a 2020, which on a 7-year replacement cycle, again, sounds a little bit now, it's still a little early, but if we know it's gonna take us 3 years, that ambulance is gonna be 9 by the time we get it, so.
This Article 24, that was a hard lesson for us because we ordered that after COVID, and traditionally we order an ambulance, we have it within a year. That one we learned that they told us as we ordered it, oh, it's 3 years out, by the way, which puts us well outside. I mean, we're over the 10-year mark now, and we're paying for it daily. Thank goodness for our town mechanic. He's a magician. He's barely keeping that alive, but it's alive for the moment. This next one, we're just trying to get ahead of it. We know that we're still going to be going for the 7-year because at 7 years, the motors are gone in them. And that's just a known thing with Ford ambulances. Unfortunately, there's no other really solid manufacturer that fits the needs of this community.
And those are hard miles.
Okay, I'll make a motion to recommend Article 25.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Article 26, this is the tanker that was mentioned earlier this evening. This is a lease agreement with an escape clause. This is replacing a 1998 fire tanker. Wow.
I believe this is year 2 as well.
Is this year 2 of this being on the warrant?
Yep.
Yeah, is this year 2? Have we made a payment on this yet or no? We haven't? I don't think. I'm looking real quick. 2025 fire engine one. Yeah, no, it was approved in last year's town
this
meeting,
year?
but we have not yet made a payment because lead time.
All right, I'll make a motion to recommend Article 26.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, Article 27, that's why Steve's still awake. This is the second payment on a highway dump truck that was approved at the 2025 town meeting. $58,000 on that payment. It is payment number 2 of 5.
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 27.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Article 28 is a mower for the Parks Department. This is for $8,400. I don't have the year on that other mower, but I remember it being old.
Yeah.
20 or something like that.
Old. Very old, right?
2015.
Oh, yeah.
21 years
2015, is that what it is? Yeah. So
That's
a
old.
dozen years, that's old.
So there will be just one typo change on that, where there's a negative in front of the $sign at the bottom where the estimated taxes.
Yep.
I'll remove that.
Thank you.
All right, I'll make a motion to recommend Article 28. It would be really cool if it was negative.
I'll second that as
Any-
amended.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? I noticed you did that also on Article 20, but I don't know if you noticed it when we went through it.
Yep, Jason picked it up.
Oh, okay, perfect.
And you did the same thing on Article 29.
She did on a couple.
Oh, and the
of them.
next one, you know,
Yeah, right.
You're making us money. We should buy more cruisers at a negative impacted tax.
pretty sure she was doing this at 11 o'clock last night. Based
Yes,
on when
I
it hit my
did.
email, so it's
That's
forgivable.
right.
Okay, Article 29 is a police cruiser. We are keeping these for roughly 7 years. We cycle them down through. Effectively, we buy a new police cruiser every year because we've got like 7 of them and we cycle them down through one every 7 years. This one's from 2018, so it's a little overdue.
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 29.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next up, I love this one. This is a highway dump truck purchase for $326,000-ish for our new highway dump truck. This purchase is being offset with a grant approved for the New Hampshire Volkswagen Environmental Mitigation Grant in the amount of $251,314. So we are raising the balance of $75,000 through taxation.
I'll make a motion to approve Article 30.
Recommend Article 30? I'll second that.
Yeah, to recommend Article 30.
You can approve it on your own, buddy.
You can't approve it. Discussion. I didn't mention this, but it's replacing a 2010 dump truck. So similarly, old equipment headed out
Also
the
more
door.
efficient, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
obvious.
Yes. I mean, 16-year-old dump truck. It's got to be.
Right.
It's got to be.
So the savings is.
All those in favor? Yeah,
Aye.
so there is savings. Good point. Aye. Any opposed? Article 31, police tasers equipment lease. This is $11,237 for the lease purchase agreement of 16 tasers. This was approved at the 2024 town meeting, and this is just a continuation of the lease.
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 31.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. The facilities manager vehicle purchase is Article 32. This is to raise and appropriate the sum of $55,000 for the purchasing a vehicle for the town facilities manager. His current vehicle is a 2009.
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 32.
Any discussion?
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
You can
All
tell
those in
it's getting
favor?
late.
Aye.
Aye. Article 33 is the cemetery mower, to see if the town will raise and appropriate $7,500 for the purpose of purchasing a mower for the cemetery. This is a new piece of equipment? It's not, but it's not, is it replacing?
Replacing an old one.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't punched the check for it, so the highway department fixed that at about time this.
Highway Department has been keeping your other one alive, but now it's time for it to go. Yeah.
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 33.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Oh, we're getting closer. Just I say that and I jinx myself with Article 34, nonprofit and health agencies. This is for $62,000 split across 8 different agencies. There's a dash again in the tax.
Got that one.
Any, nobody ran to the podium to,
Yeah, I was waiting for
Be
that.
upset
So
about
I'll make
nonprofits,
I'll make
so-
a motion to recommend Article 34.
I'll second.
this could be another one that we just omit recommendation on. That's fine. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bill, did you?
I did, that was an aye.
I'm sorry, I
It
didn't
was,
hear
it
you.
was all ayes.
Like,
All eyes
at-
on
At
this.
this point, recommend it, and then we can look at it next year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Town Hall Energy Audit Work, which this is another one that, are we good? We're
Sticking to
accurate
the
here.
voters.
We're accurate here. You already updated this. This is for $75,000, offset with a $47,376 grant from New Hampshire Saves Energy Efficiency Program, which will offset. And so the total for taxation is $27,624. We've noted a few times, roughly the cost of energy for town hall is $20,000 a year. We think this is going to save about 25% of that, so $5,000 a year. We'll get payback in just over 5 years on that investment, faster if energy costs continue to go up.
All right, I'll make a motion to recommend Article 35.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Now we get to savings accounts. So Article 36 is to put $125,000 into a series of 5 different capital reserve funds. The one that I always like to call out is the $75,000 for the fire department tower ladder truck, effectively that comes from the revenues that we get out of the life safety service agreement with the university. We're taking some of that money that Scott spoke about earlier and put that into that capital reserve fund.
Also the dispatch.
And the dispatch also comes from there?
We get, in part of the billings for the dispatch in the surrounding towns that utilize the system.
Oh, right.
They split that 25,000 amongst all those departments. Everyone pays their share of that.
Perfect. So we're saving money for later. $125,000.
The cannon, could you remind me of
That was
the
my question.
cannon reserve?
To repair the
$10,000.
It's about $40,000 to repair it.
40 to 50,
Wow.
yeah.
And is that both repairing it and like putting a little building over it, right?
Cover over it.
Yeah, so that it does not get as weathered again as it currently is. And so that's is this the second year we're putting money into that reserve? So it's sort of like a 3-year saving to restore the cannon.
Thank you.
All right, I'll make a motion to recommend Article 36.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? When we talk about things that could be floor motioned, that wouldn't have the biggest impact in the world, that's one of them. Okay, Article 37, Master Plan Land Use Regulation Update Capital Reserve Fund. So this is for $10,000 to be put into a capital reserve fund for, establishing a master plan and land use regulation.
rewriting, updating the
Updating it.
updating the
Master plan.
master plan, which
Yep.
is a 10-year cycle.
And we are overdue or
No.
right on due?
Like 2 years away. It's time to start the work on it.
Is that what it is? It's 8?
This is the time to start working on it. It was, the last one was approved in 2018. We're required to update it every 10 years.
Okay.
All right, I'll make a motion to recommend Article 37.
Any discussion?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And Article 38 is a petitioned warrant article that came in to authorize the select board to implement a pilot program applicable to qualifying non-government tax exempt entities at a tiered rate not to exceed 2% of assessed value. With revenues, but not limited to tax stabilization, blah, blah, blah. This is encouraging us to put pilots in place. There's nothing binding about this warrant article because we can't force a nonprofit to pay a pilot program, but it's a strong indication from the town to the nonprofits that we would like them to pay their fair share, and so maybe it's helpful in those negotiations, but there's not much binding about this. It's more of a strong informational recommendation of desire from the community. I don't know as I would recommend it because it's petitioned and it is in that kind of pseudo state.
I mean, my question is, my understanding is that the select board is already authorized to enter into payment in lieu of tax agreements.
Correct. We already have that authorization.
So this, my understanding is this is lacking language that would require,
Not that there's,
and I don't believe.
couldn't
that-
require.
we can't require.
We
What's
can't
funny
require
is
an
that,
RSA
Just
75.
for discussion's sake.
not that this is likely to occur, but if a nonprofit was to come to us and agree on a pilot at, let's say, 5% of assessed value, the town's told us not to exceed 2%, so we would It would actually put a cap on what we could assess on a pilot. Not that we're ever going to get to 2% anyway with them, but
Right.
it's
2%
actually interesting because it could
2%
create
is
the
like,
opposite problem.
is the equivalent of 20 per mil.
In other words, $200,000, you know, you figure out
Yeah,
2% of that,
it's-
it's 2,000.
Percent per mil. I mean, our tax rates are
Right.
per
It would be
thousand.
similar to what
Yeah.
they might pay in taxes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And nobody's getting anywhere near that.
Right. No.
But anyway,
And you're also
could be a cap,
limiting,
but
limiting the,
it's not really anything.
purpose that you can use it for.
Oh, is there a purpose? Tiered rate includes
It says, but not limited to, but
tax stabilization, municipal infrastructure, rural land protection purposes. Yeah,
It's pretty wide open,
I
though.
think tax stabilization gives you a
Wide latitude.
I would say a pretty wide latitude. But anyway, I think this
Leave that as it is.
is lovely. It's just not like it's not going to create a.
I don't think it's actionable either.
That's my thought.
The only action I think it could is.
It arms Scott a little bit in his negotiations to say the community is really, really pushing us to try to get you to pay your fair share, and that's
about all.
about all. So probably no note on that one, unless someone feels strongly.
I don't feel strongly.
And I'm not recommending other business, because at that point, I want to go home.
so I'm gonna ask you if you would
7:40.
please to recess the meeting unless you have something else
Yes,
going on. that I
so
can-
we, administratively, this has to get posted tomorrow, and all of the board members need to sign it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna recess the meeting, and we're gonna sit around here for a little while, not talking about the town in any capacity. And then
Come back and sign.
come back just to sign, and we'll be done for the night.
We can talk about Taskmaster.
If you want to hang around and talk about your favorite TV show, we would love for you
Say,
to
we could talk
socialize
about
with us.
Taskmaster.
Yes, yes. I need
Do we need a motion for recess?
Sure.
Ann's got to go make some edits real quick.
I'll put a motion for recess.
He can recess that.
Motion for recess.
He just did it. You need a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 They just started my car.
said you emailed it?
Yeah.
So on
Emailed it to you and
6,
Zach.
we go to
So I'm gonna look out over your shoulder.
900,000.
Make you very uncomfortable.
900,000, line 2,
205012,
yep, and then, yep,
and then 25 cents per thousand.
yes.
Select board recommends that article. Does not recommend 7, does not recommend 8, recommends 9. We've got
So
the,
we took, on Article 8, I took majority out and just.
oh,
said
and changed it to ballot vote.
required.
Yep, that was the other one.
And
Just ballot,
then-
you said ballot required. Okay, that's fine.
And then 10, we took out selectmen and put select board.
And we recommend, and we recommend.
11 and 12, we took out selectmen and put in select board.
No.
13, 14 is a dash gone. Next to the zeros.
13, 14, the dash is gone.
Okay.
14 didn't have a dash, did it?
14 had a dash, 15 had a dash.
15 dash
Oh,
is
14 did
gone.
have a dash, yep.
Yeah, they don't have it now, so.
No dash.
16,
Recommend.
17,
Recommend. 18 recommend. 19.
20, we changed library exterior painting for 15 to library exterior renovations.
For,
And I get rid of the dash.
For
The
20?
we are technically switched on those two, Ann.
What's that? The costs are separate?
Costs are
The
switched.
painting is 15,000 and the renovations are.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around.
She said 15 was
The renovation.
The
renovation and the
renovations.
18 was the painting.
I would
Right.
believe that.
That's what I
15
remember
is the
hearing.
renovations and 18 is the painting. 15 is the
Replacing all the rotten
renovations,
finger
18 is
jointed.
painting. Oh, you were
Oh.
right, Ann. My mistake.
Uh,
Recommends.
We got the-
27.7,
so
got
on
that fixed on 22.
Yep.
And you
and
updated
then
the
I
tax
updated
rate.
it, Yep, and then 23, I changed the spelling of Pierce. 26, 27,
25 has a selectman.
I must.
Ooh, missed it. Damn it.
That's all right, once I can
that's an
fix
easy-
that one.
That's an easy one to
That's the
fix.
one I gotta fix, 25, right?
Yep.
26, there's nothing,
Recommends,
27 was nothing, 28, we had a dash.
Yep. 28. There's a dash, and that's fixed.
29, we had a dash.
29. That dash is gone.
30, 31, 32, 33.
Recommends.
34, no dash.
34. The dash is gone.
35, 36, 37, 38, and 39.
Recommend.
And we didn't.
And we didn't recommend 38 or 39, and there are no changes to those.
No, okay.
All right.
So we just need that
24?
one page.
What was that one?
I think it was 24, wasn't
No,
it?
it was it 24?
25.
25.
25 selectmen on 25.
Oh, selectmen, yep. I'll go down and fix that. I'll press
One
go and
quickie.
bring it back for you guys to sign.
Thank you.
I'm
know
warming
it's-
my pen up right now.
You can sign that first page.
Start my car. Start my car.
Again.
You can sign the first page right there.
It's scary when we go longer than the planning board.
That's fair.
That's a first.
And we started sooner.
Yes.
True.
Yep.
And I am
Because
hungry.
we're masochists. We enjoy staying.
Hey, and it's our second time
There
here today.
won't be many of these
Fair,
meetings.
thank
where
you.
We are here this long.
No.
If we get one or two
No,
of
it's,
I found it funny that when I got on the select board, I'm like, oh, my time commitment and meetings went down significantly.
Over
compared to
planning
when I was
board?
Planning board.
And it's planning board's twice.
Planning board next year?
Nope.
you should have been here a few
It
years ago.
used to be that way.
Oh, it's awful.
Select board was just continuously.
Oh,
go to,
the
like,
select board. I meant the planning board
Oh,
is
no.
just always
select board
yeah.
went a lot longer on a regular basis.
inefficient, all kinds of.
Just because of our town manager. That was 90% of the reason.
And thank God for Ann. I can't. She answered all the. Way back when.
All of it.
I did-
all of it, because you'd look at
Yeah,
Kathy and you'd
and
just
she'd
get a
look at
blank
Ann.
stare.
Right,
Pretty soon you learned never to look at Kathy.
right.
Oh, really?
That was awful.
How did you get in that place? How did they become town manager in the first place?
Where do we begin?
Story for another time.
Outgoing.
The little
board
that I
voted
know
into the role as 3 of them were leaving.
Ew.
With a significant penalty if you,
Yeah, with a full year's salary if she was terminated out of her contract early. So we just had to live with it.
Ew.
It was brutal
Yeah.
on both fronts. Like, can't believe a previous.
Oh, I
board would do
did.
that kind
Oh,
of
my
bullshit.
soda.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, like,
Who was the outgoing?
like imagine
board,
3 of us were outgoing on the board and we were like, nah, we're gonna vote this contract for this person in a role that doesn't yet exist. It was on the ballot to create the town manager role, and they as a board voted and signed a contract that if
Yeah,
the
that was
town
me.
voted for it,
Do we need a fresh one?
she would get
No.
it and get the contract.
Blow
It
on
was
it.
like, that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
yes, that is wild. I couldn't believe.
strange.
It was wild.
Just be careful not to rip that one.
That would have been, exiting the board at that time was Jenny Tebow, Brian
Oh, I forgot
Dutile,
Forgot.
and Mike Ahern. And them plus John
Oh, Winlet.
Ranlat. The 4 of them voted that, pushed that through. And Bill was like, what are you all doing?
Right.
It's all private session, but all of those are open records now, so, you know?
Yeah.
All right, Steve. When you guys laying down asphalt curbing in my neighborhood,
I don't want asphalt curbing.
I just want them
I
to.
want-
I just want them to
I want
replace the stuff they
granite.
took out.
Going great.
I want granite.
It's not the end of the world.
Careful, it's still wet.
So how did it get wet?
What's that?
Where are you talking about? Did we talk the asphalt curbing?
The downslope from Hilltop towards Pleasant on the right. There was the first year they took out like 6 feet, and then the next year there was like 25. I was like, and they like whatever happened the first year, like it went away. I was gonna like get the pieces and like stack them back up, and then they were gone. It happens. It's another thing with a wing, right? Yeah, that's all right.
Daylock will be paving that, hopefully in-house this year.
That's.
My game plan is actually to rent the paper and do it ourselves.
I think that's a smart plan.
Well,
If you can.
qualification people to do it.
Yes, that's. Remember, I told you at the holiday brunch about the hole that I was trying to blow leaves out of.
Too, but we didn't talk about it.
So this is interesting. My leaf blower had enough power. Like I was trying to blow gravel out of a hole. The air got under the pavement, and like the pavement was only an inch thick, and it blew like a 4-foot diameter circle up in the air, and I immediately stopped and it went back down.
Only an inch thick?
Wow.
Yeah, and it's all like alligator cracked through there. I'm surprised it didn't like turn into pieces, but like it was the weirdest thing to see like the entire road surface come up in a bubble like this because I was blowing my leaf blower at a pothole, and then it went back down.
Wow.
Island Street are only an inch thick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy. I mean,
So my driveway's thicker?
we tried to solve that with them.
yeah. I mean,
More
the other
samples
part of
and
it,
all
the other part that's bad is the backside of the curve on
That was
cross
like our
country.
first year on the board.
That's all alligator cracked and super
Yep.
thin back there too.
That's right.
But I
That's
mean, no one
right.
drives
Thank
back
you.
there, but
Yeah.
it's nice to have it as.
Yep, I do now.
It's nice to have it as a through road, so you don't have to turn around. And there is a buildable lot on that outside of that corner, which it's the only lot out there that hasn't been built yet.
They brought the cores in and showed it. It was wild how thin some of it was.
Yeah.
Ate it.
What could you
Can't do
do?
anything about it now, that far along.
And that was an electric leaf blower.
No, but I hear Rancid.
What's that?
Is that Ann?
Yeah.
Big Bang.
Come on, you only had to print one page.
Oh,
She's
true.
only been here 24 hours.
She's
I'm
probably
sure.
got to do print to PDF, then print the paper.
Who got this wet?
Stop it.
Who's got a drink at the table?
And you don't even know if it's seltzer water for that
Yeah,
matter.
we're gonna scan that, put it in the town report.
I love the implication there.
I only learned a few years ago when the kids would be walking around in town with like Subway,
can of Coke.
Yeah, there was like a bottle in there. I know, stupid. So that's seltzer.
I had a friend who used to walk around with
Yeah, we need
Dunkin' Donuts coffee cup with Bud Light in it.
Stop it! It's not really. We blew on it.
Purchase that first one, and then that's the budget.
Yeah, we need to sign a new one of these. This one got a little,
Why?
Thank you. It's I have a drinking problem.
I will sign a fresh one if there's a fresh one. That's
Don't say draft anymore. Those can all go in the trash.
fine. Okay, so we just want the cover.
That's why I left the first piece.
Seriously, fine.
couldn't get it on this one?
Actually left a.
Did you leave a water stain on the table?
Don't you use coasters at home?
Personally, I am not home. I am enjoying the freedom
want
of
the-
not being home.
Must have a
I want the record to show that.
we are on the record, aren't we?
we are.
Oh, I can't wait for the YouTube of this one.
No, Melinda's still watching right now.
If you bring a drink to a town meeting, make sure it's in a sippy cup with a straw.
That is.
There's a top on there.
No, the reason the top is because I go through 100 of these, and then at night sometimes I don't drink the whole thing. So this was my Christmas gift, was so I don't lose the fizz.
That's a good idea.
And this one I took from home after I went and took a nap.
Watch that water.
Yeah, don't.
Don't let it in
Let's
your
not
way.
talk about.
Where are we here?
Borrow your pen, please.
You gotta have, well, let's have a little bit of fun.
God, it's like having four
It's like-
brothers all over.
Almost 8:30, come on.
Enough range to hit my truck from here.
I don't have enough range to hit my truck from here.
I feel
'Cause I don't
bad
have a remote
starting it
starter.
again.
Say, I could throw a football over the mountains.
Shot at it.
Got you.
Get away from me.
Pass it on
Yeah,
to Phil.
there we go.
All right, you
Coach,
can play with
we'll
this
put
one.
me in
This is the one
state.
that doesn't count.
Tina.
We also.
That's coming to Fly Monkey.
I'll go.
They're having a Q&A with John Heater.
No.
Yeah.
That would be
I
awesome.
think it's happening in like March or May, or I think it's happening in May.
I'm really a bit bummed. There was one of those, like a screening with Q&A session with, oh crap, what's the guy's name? John Cusack.
Oh wow.
It was a screening of High
Finding it
Fidelity.
way over here.
That's a great movie.
You don't even mean it. You can't
All right.
even fake the.
Go to Ann.
Yep.
See, I started my car here too. Climate's on.
Not that cool. Actually, I don't have a car here, so I'm definitely
home?
not that cool. Yeah.
Oh, you got it.
Zach's gonna give me a ride home.
Okay.
But thank you.
Actually, I'm gonna drive you out into the desert and leave you.
Damn it!
Drive you out in the desert.
Good one.
That's a long drive here, actually. So.
Drive out to the desert and look for the mother of that woman who's a
Okay, go for it.
Oh, is there another one we have to sign?
All right.
I put my pen away.
We have
I
to-
put my pen away.
Still your pen.
I know. Just one.
Ann, thank you for getting us through the night.
Thanks, Ann.
thank
and
you,
for
Ann.
Last night too. And today.
Yep.
And listening to
I'm almost
me.
done with this.
Yeah.
What's that?
I was supposed to go across there.
It was supposed
Oh, for planning?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was too. I wasn't worried about it.
Joseph will be in tomorrow, Steve and
I probably will.
Interesting that people are upset that Tom Newcomb's running for planning board.
Oh, yeah.
It does feel wrong.
We're on
Yeah,
the.
let's not deal with any town
Okay.
business right now.
Yeah.
No. Oh, right.
Sorry.
We're in session.
I was commenting on public comment. We don't have to discuss it.
All right.
My bad.
No deliberation on it.
We are not discussing it.
We're not. Phil and I have to.
Unless you want to go into
Sign.
non-public for personnel.
We can do it
Next
Monday.
time.
We're back Monday.
Oh my gosh.
We are.
Motion
Yeah.
to adjourn as soon as they're done. Right.
I only know when Lydia sends
Just
me
borrow
the
that
thing.
for just a minute, so.
Yeah, you'll get it tomorrow.
We're on, well, it is in the
Yeah,
calendar.
I'm gonna give that to you guys so you can just hand it to me.
It's a pseudo-effective copy.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
Do we have to make a motion?
Motion.
I second that.
Wait a minute, you can't do that.
I can't do
No
what?
discussion allowed. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
There, so.
Here it is.
Just looking for another hour here.
I can't wait to do that.